side. She's holding a beautiful angle, but will she be able to utilize it in a proper way? There's going to be one player right exactly in the front holding the yellows, but no. It's going to be no pick. Sway still trying to hold that angle, still trying to get the sight inside the control. Trying to be a bit more aggressive. Be able to get that pick. Yes, she does. That's going to be the Jet taking down the Jet itself. A 5 versus 3 in favors of the defenders right now.
They do have that upgraded value, and they're doing the best they can to really do damage on it. It's gonna come down to Casper on the lurker, who manages to take down Rose on the back. Is a little bit more vulnerable, but not if Haife has anything to say about it. It's all down to the last player for Orangutan, and she's gonna be shut down as well. An almost flawless round coming in for the side of Team Ollies, who really needed it. And they're gonna be walking into the next round with 4 rifles still online. So that is a big W for them. Looking at the economy though, it seems like Orangutan, well, this is going to be the round where they will have their full buy as well. So we're looking at an evenly matched round economically at least. Though it seems like Orangutan, they have done a bit more to charge up those ultimates comparatively. So if they can get a few ult ops, or if they can get the spike down, it is going to be what they need to perhaps convert the round, whether they can get Casper's ult online or whether they plan to get the resurrection coming through quickly. It's going to be important already, though. Haife aggressing towards mid is going to be able to punish Muffin Luke, who plays a little bit too forward without any kind of backup, bringing things down to a 4v5 right off the bat. Orangutan, they don't have the resurrection either.
Well, a 5 versus 4 in favors of Team Mollies right now. They can make one more round work in their favor and get the score and equalizing thing. There you go. Jet takes down the Jet itself. That's a 2 for her. 2 players goes down. A 4v2 situation. It's going to be an equalizing situation once again. The spike, it's not yet planted. It has yet not made its way inside the side. That's going to be Jet holding a beautiful angle. This angle can at least get her one player. That's what she's trying to push. She gets punished. 3K for Jet. That's a 4K. There you go. Beautiful way to equalize the entire score. 2-2, ladies and gentlemen.
Is 2-2, and Eluvu, well, to give our viewers some context about her, she is Pakistan's first female Radiant. She's been playing for a few rosters right now. I think that at one point she was also a player for Australia, if I'm not wrong. So one of the most talented and versatile players in the scene. And I really like the roster coming in from the side of Team Mollies, because I believe there are players from about 3 teams so far on this particular roster. At least Haife, she used to play for Australia, now she's a free agent. A lot of very, very talented individuals on this particular team, and it seems like they have their coordination as well. A bit of a bonus round coming, a bit of a half-life coming in from Orangutan right now. Sway though with the Sheriff is going to be able to get a gun for a team, and Muffin Luke, she's going to have the tour de force as well. So that's going to be an operator as well as 2 weapons that they can use heading into this particular round. The B side is also fairly empty, so when the Viper wall comes back up, they will be able to push into the side. But it seems like a rotation is going to be coming through from the side of the Orangutan players instead. And honestly, it might not be a bad call, because there's only going to be one player towards his A side, but Eluvu, she's going to be watching the cross, and if they're not careful, they're going to end up being punished.
Well, right now, not sure on which side they exactly want to capitalize. Eluvu holding a beautiful angle once again. Can get picks for herself, but it's a 4 versus 4 situation. She gets caught. That's going to be her trying to take some shots, but she misses. And there you go. Damage is all that she has to satisfy herself with. Not yet sure. 30 seconds on the clock. They need to decide on what can be done. Muffin trying to take one player down. It goes, but no gets denied. The investment of Viper's Pit. Now, that's going to be a huge investment made right now. Casper trying to still find players. There's going to be Owl Drone used to exactly locate the players out there. Luke trying to be a bit more aggressive. Gets punished by Casper. Muffin goes down as well. That's going to be 1-1 down. A 3 versus 3 situation. Once again, what's going to happen? Not sure. Defuse, no. Well, she's not going to stick, but the Viper goes down. And so the Viper's Pit. Japanese takes down Joe. It's going to be last player surviving. Casper takes down Kiri. 3rd round. Rolling in, ladies and gentlemen, for the side of OG.
Orangutan get that round, and it's all off the back of that beautiful Sheriff shot from Sway. She manages to get a rifle drop it for Casper, and they're able to plant the spike and get that Viper's ult in place. So that makes the round much more difficult when it comes to the retake for the side of Mollies, and they do a great job nevertheless. They manage to take down a lot of the OG players, but well, Orangutan is known for converting these half-buy and Thrifty rounds, and they show yet again why they are absolute champs at it. Heading to this round, yet again, it's going to be a full buy for both of these teams, if I'm not wrong. You can see Sway already trying to get a little bit aggressive here, but it's going to be pushed off.
5 versus 5. Here. The spike. It is making its way towards the B side. It's going to be a mid control being taken as well, but right now Sage is already inside the side. Sova takes down Chamber. That's going to be one player loss already for the sides of defenders. They need to be careful. They need to get rounds for themselves as much as they can. Kiwi trying to enter from the snowman. Outgrown. Well, that's the location. Given Sway trying to take down the Sage, but no gets denied. A Lubu on the knives. Jet and the knives. That's the best ever possible combination that you guys can witness, but will that work is the question. Sage takes down the doppelganger. That's going to be a 2 versus 4, working still in the face of Lubu trying to take players down. She takes down one, a beautiful head connection. No, oh, she misses last knives, but that's done and dusted. Last player goes down. Operator, well, they had one, but right now they lose it, and so is the case with the round 2.
Does anyone have fun?
2 rounds buffer that Orangutan still has.
Yeah, they managed to win the last 2 rounds in a row, and that's going to put the economy for the side of Mollies in a very, very bad spot. You do see Iluvu trying to go for the Guardian instead, but apart from that, there's not going to be much that they really have to work with. Rose with the Hero Vandal as well. So these two players, they have a lot of heavy lifting to do. However, if Capricious can get a pick with the Sheriff, with the Headhunter pistol, or if she can get an off, that's going to be an ultimate, the total force that she will be able to use online. This time though, Orangutan, they're getting feisty towards the A side instead. Already towards mid, the pressure is being exerted as well by 2 players from them, and they're not going to let anybody really push through or take excessive control of this area. You can see Sway with the operator as well, keeping watch on the side, but it seems like Mollies are aware of the possibility that there's going to be an operator in line here. Already though, Muffin Loop on the lurk, she's able to take down Iluvu, and that's a jet down for the side of Team Mollies. 4v5.
4v5. Sage who has the resurrection to work around with, but will they actually utilize it is going to be the biggest question. Kiri takes down Casper. That's going to be one main player being done and dusted. Sway holding a beautiful angle. A 3v4 retake. Sage and Sheriff. Here. Now, will this combination work or no is going to be the biggest question. But the spike goes down. Now it's all about the retake. Will the team be able to do the retake properly? Sway is holding an angle. Chamber about to peek. Misses the shot. No, you don't do that. Muffin takes down Kiwi as well. That's going to be Sway not missing it once again. Takes down one. Jappies takes down Sage. And that's going to be the 5th round, ladies and gentlemen, rolling in for the sides of Orangutan. With the loss of one player, but it doesn't matter, right? They already got 3 rounds buffer for themselves.
Yeah, they're being able to snowball these rounds and build up the lead. 5-2 right now, and this is going to be a very pivotal round for the side of Team Mollies, because they have to make sure that they win this. Otherwise, the deficit on the rounds is going to be a little bit too much for them to really be comfortable with, and it's also going to be bad for the economy. So they do need to try and convert this round. Capricious, she's going to be going for that tour de force and playing towards this mid area, which is honestly a pretty good idea. In the meantime, though, it's going to be Iluvu who shuts down Sway. The resurrection does come through, so Sway is going to be back in the game, but at least they managed to force that ultimate out. 4 players from Orangutan playing towards 3 players from Orangutan playing towards this A site here, and it seems like they are going to be making the push there instead. Muffin Loop watching down towards mid, seeing if any of the players from the side of Mollies are going to be getting a little bit too aggressive. Capricious, though, is going to be able to make the total force thing and find a kill for herself. That's going to be Casper down, and there's no more rest, so that means no more smokes as well. A 3v5 in Orangutan. They still have control of the spike, but that's going to be all that they really have control of, because the players are going to be really scattered. Rose as well, playing in this close angle. If they don't clear it, it's going to make things very, very rough for them. Oh.
Well, that's going to be a trade happening. Viper takes down one, but there's Viper going down as well. A 4v2. Wouldn't say completely doable, but Chamber and a Sage. The spike, it's making its way towards the B side. There's one player already in front. Need to be careful. He finds one, but oh, he misses some shots. Needs to be yet careful. The Sage trying to bit a little bit more aggressive. And there you go. He finishes. Muffin, that's going to be one player down. The second one goes down as well. The 3-round buffer that Orangutan had has came down to the 2 rounds buffer already. Third round, ladies and gentlemen, rolling in for the sides of Moli's, but they need more rounds. 3 to 5, the half, the scoreline that we do have right now. And what I'm expecting right now, Zach, will be a 6 to 6. I mean, I know that's going to be quite difficult, but I do expect a 6-6 to happen.
I mean, let's see if it does, but it's good that the side of Molly's, they managed to win that round without losing too many players, because that is going to help bolster the economy a little bit. Already Muffin Loop back on the look again, this time watching towards the B side. However, the Vipers being committed towards the A side is immediately going to push these players off. Capricious though, she's got to get a little bit too aggressive and be forced to fall off the angle. You can see Hi-Fi with the resurrection, but she's going to have to find these kills first, and immediately she's going to be pushed off the angle as well. The B side looking weaker as the players from Orangutan, they take steady control. However, the rotation is coming in, so that's at least one benefit happening right now for the players from the side of Team Molly's. Eluvo already being able to find one, and as the spike goes down, we're looking at a 4v4 retake.
A 4v4 retake. Jet holding a beautiful angle, can find one, but no, gets denied. That's going to be an operator on board. Now, will this operator help them get shots? And no, is going to be the biggest question. Misses the second one as well. Sway needs to be really, really careful. The spike is diffusing, but no, the diffuser gets killed as well. He's trying to defuse. Rose takes down 3. Casper takes down 3. That's going to be one player down. And the entire round goes in the favors of OG. How beautiful and fast this round went. I mean, the spike goes down. There were players holding beautiful angles. The operator shots, yes, they were missed. But Orangutan got the lead back to themselves.
Unfortunate that Capricious decided to get a little bit too aggressive, that she couldn't teleport out in time, and she was going to be punished for that position. And of course, Hi-Fi wasn't able to trade as well. Isolated 1v1s, not really going in the favor of Team Molly's. They still are going to be able to buy into this round, I believe. But apart from that, things aren't exactly ideal. Already, yet again, you see the fight for mid-control coming in from the side of these players from Orangutan. However, on the A side, it's going to be Eluvo who's going to go for an aggressive peek, and immediately she's going to be able to take down Sway. 4v5 right now in Orangutan. That's going to put a little bit of a stop to their momentum on this particular round. Casper on the lurk this time, making her way through Tube. There is a trademark here though, but she's aware that somebody might peek in, but Hi-Fi, she's going to be ready for it, bringing things back down in a massive advantage towards Team Molly's. There's 2 players from Orangutan, they fall. 2 more are on the A side, and the crossfire between both Eluvo as well as Rose, it's going to be blocked off by that Sage wall, so that's going to let the spike at least go down right now. But the Hunter's Fury, that's going to come through and immediately stop the plant from coming in. 3v4, and Orangutan, that Hunter's Fury not going to be able to find anyone. Eluvo does, however. The trade immediately comes through. It's all down to just these 2 players, both sides, the Sova and the Sage. The spike, it seems like it's finally going to go down.
Well, yes, there you go. The spike planted. The Sage already having 3k for herself. Gets the 4, gets the 5th! Oh my god. I could literally hear the girl saying, I'm not just your healer, but right now it's going to be a 1 versus 1 situation. What's going to happen? A big question. There you go. Diffuse. Well, yes, 4th round, ladies and gentlemen, rolling in for the sides of Molly's, but I have to give it to Sage. What a phenomenal performance it was.
Yeah, she's really showing she's a cold player, that as true to her name, Ice on Me, I believe. So that's pretty good for the side of Orangutan right now. Apart from, I mean, they lost the round, but they still do have the lead here. So it's not entirely hopeless for them. And they have 2 major ultimates as well off the back of that round. They have both the Viper Spit for Casper as well as a Resurrection for their Sage. So that is going to be something that goes in their favor. Sway yet again with the operator. She does not want to give up on this particular weapon. Though I'm not quite sure if it's the best idea on attack on when you are your team solo duelist, but never mind, it seems to be working for Orangutan most of the time. It is going to be Capricious who is yet again on this B side. This time though, she's not going to be playing it too aggressive. She remembers what happened the last time around. She peeked that angle. Japeeps with the drone trying to clear out all of these corners, making sure that there's going to be nobody lurking down with the judge. Does spot out Hi-Fi, but Capricious, the position is still unknown. So off this angle on the yellow, she might be able to really do a lot here. Spots out Casper. That's going to be the Viper spit down, and she wants more. She's still going to be holding this yellow angle. In the meantime, though, it's gonna be Muffin who takes down Kitty.
Operator shot, there you go. One player goes down and Lulu takes down Ice on Me. That's gonna be one player being done and dusted still. On her knife, she can take down more. Let's see if she can. 3 versus 3 situation. And the location gets compromised as well. They need to be careful right now. Spike is not yet planted, but Muffin, she takes down and Luvu. The knives, the investment on the Jets knife just gets them one single pick. Right now, a 2v3 situation. Well, I was about to say a 2v3, but make it a 2v2. Equalize the situation once again. Sway with the operator trying to clear front angle. The spike not yet planted. Both of the players trying to make it away. Hyphay is holding that angle, but Sway takes down Hyphay, and that's going to be the last man surviving. Well, where is she? She is almost near to the side, but will she be able to defuse is going to be the biggest question. Will Team Mollies get one more round for themselves? Is going to be the biggest question right now. The Viper has a lot to do right now. It's going to be the investment of everything that she can. Trying to stick in, but no 3K for Sway. And the 7th round, ladies and gentlemen, rolling in for the sides for Orangutan. Well, I felt like it could be a 6-6, but no, my bad. It could be maybe a 8-4 or maybe, let's see, a 7-5.
No ultimates available right now for the side of Team Molly's. Not even close to it, in fact. In fact, the closest is going to be Capricious, who needs to get 3 kills somehow. The economy as well is going to be in the dumpster. None of these players are going to be able to really buy rifles and full armor. On the opposite side of the Orangutan, they're still thriving. They have the Viper ult. They have 3 ults, in fact. Already Muffin Loop finding incredible value with the first, taking down Hyphay, bringing things back down to a 4v5. Orangutan with the advantage, and she's still going to be able to lock down mid on top of everything else. It's all down to just Capricious here, who is able to hold the angle, but all she really has is a headhunter pistol. Finally, it's going to be Rose taking down Muffin Loop, but the damage has been done. The B-side has been taken, and the Viper ult has been committed. An unfortunate shock dart from Kiri is going to take down Capricious. 2v4 right now, and it seems like we're looking at an 8-4 half here, Dush.
Oh, well, yes. Well, yes, that is going to be the case, definitely. Izumi still holding the angle, finds one, takes down Rose. A 1 versus 4 situation. Kiri takes down Ice on Me. One player goes down. Needs to be careful from the Jet. There's going to be one player. Kiri takes down Sway as well. Do not tell me there was a try for a knife, because I actually didn't feel like it was one. Kiri still trying to find more, but the time is running. Needs to be careful, Casper. You do not do that. That hurted.
Switching sides.
8-4, ladies and gentlemen, with a knife at the end.
Yes, Casper does not mess around, and yeah, she's back with a vengeance right now. She hasn't been able to play in the last tournament in the official Game Changer circuit, so she's probably feeling a little bit left out, but man, she looks pissed, honestly, at this point. Casper 13-6 on the Viper, leading the scoreboards for the side of Orangutan. Elubu, her perfect match as well on the Jet, but you know, heading into this half, it's very, very important for Mollies to try and convert this pistol round here, because otherwise they're looking at a 10-4 scoreline, which is very, very difficult for them to come back from. So they have a lot of work to do. It is very much possible for them to make this comeback, but they have to start off by winning this pistol round. Already a bit of a default coming through from these players right now. And the Recon is going to be spotting out both Muffin Loop as well as a teammate, but she's not going to be moving from the angle at all. Still playing aggressively while they manage to get that AWP for themselves. So Orangutan, they're not afraid to really push and try to get as much utility available as possible. 4 players stacked on this A side, but look at where the spike is, and look at where everybody else is going.
Well, it's going to be difficult, but Viper on the sides of Orangutan right now, pretty low on HP, needs to be careful. Muffin holding a beautiful angle, and Rose takes it down. That's going to be Lubu taking Sway down as well. 2 players done and dusted. Orangutan on the backwards right now. Casper pretty low on HP, needs to heal, but will she get the healing on time is going to be the biggest question. It's going to be a 3v5 retake. The last player surviving from the sides of OG. Where is this man? She is just holding an angle. She's waiting. Spike is down. Jet right exactly in the front. Sage trying to peek. Jet takes a down, and Lubu gets the last. for herself, and that's going to be 3K rolling in. At the start itself, I felt like it could have been a flawless, as Orangutan started with a flawless, but luckily Team Molly's got one round for themselves, and maybe the second one as well. But I have to give it to Luke. I mean, she's doing all the hard lifting for the team. She can, and the Sage as well. I mean, how do I forget the 5K? Few moments back, but again, coming back to the point, 5-8 the scoreline right now. If by any case Orangutan hits 2-digit, it can get very difficult for the sides of Team Mollies to get rounds for themselves. But Luwu gets one, gets the second one as well. Right now, Team Mollies, they are pissed. They are hungry for rounds. Rose takes down one, Muffin takes down one with a beautiful head connection. A 4 versus 2, Zach.
Muffin gets 2 as well, and that's going to be both the spike as well as the vandal which Elubu had dropped. I think they will be able to at least retrieve it. In the meantime, everybody has managed to make their way onto the A side, so they have control of that. As long as they can get the spike through, it's going to make all the difference here. Kiri, though, they're going to be able to pick up at least a Spectre, if I'm not wrong, so that's going to be one weapon that they have in their favor. Haife getting a little bit too aggressive, realizes that she doesn't really want to let these Orangutan players get too much of an advantage, but Muffin with the frenzy, she's going to be able to take down Haife. 3 on the round already, and well, Casper, she has a Spectre as well, so things back down to a 2v2. Economically, at least this round is looking quite expensive for Mollies. Casper able to get that kill with the Spectre. It's gonna come down to a 1v1. Casper with more HP here, going aggressive, connects the headshot onto Kiri, and with that, we're looking at Orangutan who steal away this bonus round, which should have been converted easily for Mollies, but they make this 3v5 with a limited budget with 2 HP left on Casper, and it's gonna be the Thrifty coming through for Orangutan. What a great round from them.
1 round away from double digits. 1 round away. Now coming back to the 10th round, I mean, any team hitting the 10th round, it's going to boost a lot of your confidence, a lot of your momentum. And at that point of time, you'll feel like, come on, let's just end it as fast as possible. And maybe, just maybe assuming that that might be the case with the sides of Orangutan right now. But let's see what's going to be the case. 5-9 scoreline, ladies and gentlemen. Talking about the buys, OG got their hands on goodbye. And maybe that's the case with the sides of Mollies as well. Casper trying to block the visions completely, but the push going in towards the B side is something they need to be careful about. Muffin holding an angle. Iluvu on her jets once again takes down Casper. Not sure of what position Muffin is holding. One player disadvantage already on the sides of Orangutan, and they took down the main player, that's Casper herself. So it's going to be a huge loss. Iluvu trying to still find more for herself. Misses one to knife, but will she be able to connect more? No, gets denied from Sway. Jet taking down the doppelganger itself. A 4v4 retake. Diffuse. Yes, it's Beanstick. It's Beanstick. OG diffusing. And there you go. It's done. Muffin taking 3K. The spike gets diffused. Double digit, ladies and gentlemen, rolling in for the sides of Orangutan. Mollies, they are missing rounds back to back. The previous round, as you said, was a bonus for them. They missed it. And even right now, the Sage Wall helped the defuse, and Orangutan got the double for themselves.
Massive round coming in from the Meluvu. Yet again was able to get that first pick, but the rest of the team, well, they're not able to compartmentalize on it at all. You can see Sway getting that operator in as well, so that's going to be an upgrade coming to for Orangutan. 10-5 right now, and this is an equivalent round for the side of these players from the side of Mollies. They already get that first pick yet again as Elu was able to take on Muffin with a clean headshot. Apart from that though, she will be able to get back to full health in the meantime. Capricious is going to be on the lurk towards his mid area. That opens up Kitchen because there's going to be no more trademark watching it. It seems like Ison is aware of that possibility at the very least and is able to punish Capricious. It gets a little bit too aggressive, right? That thing's back down to a 4v4. And the spike itself, well, it's making its way back towards the A side where there is both Sway as well as Ison who's managed to rotate over. Rose does have that ultimate available though, so if she can commit that Viper Spirit, it's going to be very, very important heading into this particular round. Sway is going to be falling off the angle, and that's going to be the A side just walked into by the side of the players from Team Mollies. The Viper Spirit being invested as well is going to prevent the operator from finding a great deal of value here. The wall comes down as well, making things even more difficult on this possible retake right now. You can see Ison trying to stay alive here, does manage to do exactly that. 4 players for both these teams, and it seems like the retake is on. Joan committed as well to try and spot out the position, but eyes on me. She's going to be getting that head catch out onto Lu, the star player from the side of Team Mollies, brought down But Rose, she has to go huge here. The Viper's Pit is going to be one of the major win conditions on this particular round. And as I say that, he's going to be taken down. It's all down to just Kiri as well as a teammate here. Kiri, though, on 25 HP, is able to find 3. A 1v1 right now. Casper knows the position, but there's no time. She has to go for this fight, and Kiri is going to deny any kind of action coming through from Orangutan. A 4K on the round for her. And finally, a round for Molly's.
25 HP. All that she had was 25 HP, and still she managed to clutch it out for the round. What a phenomenal round it was for the sides of Molly's, but again, coming back to the point, they need to continue it in the same way to get the map for themselves. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a best of 3 between both of this team. And as I said, I don't want to end it with a 2-0 for any one of them. I want to go and witness the fracture actions happening, but coming back to the map right now, Caprius still trying to hold the mid angle, still trying to get into the hole, but Casper, she'll be investing on her Viper's Pit right now. If she gets compromised, it could be difficult for the entire team to actually get this round for, themselves. Acer holding an angle once again. Will she be able to get the pick is going to be the question, but the Chamber finds one, OG loses one of their player. Still, the spike hasn't made the way inside the side itself, and I guess the team has already called a rotation. Acer revives back the teammate as well, so it's going to be a 5v5 equalizing situation, but Sway, she has a lot to do right now. She sees one, punishes one. It's going to be one player done and dusted. On a disadvantage is what Molly is right now, but Hi-Fi, with the help of her wall, they'll be able to get not exactly the side control, I would say, but right now the mid is what they are looking for. Jappy's holding an angle once again. This could make wonders happen if utilized properly, but will that be the case? Well, no, Acer gets punished. That's going to be Kiri taking her down as well. Spike making its way towards the B side. Muffin takes down Rose. Sage still trying to peek. Jumps down, takes down. Casper takes down Kiri. Okay, that's going to be one more player done and dusted. Muffin missed one shot, but not the second one. Spike not yet planted. Time is something they need to be careful about, but Casper, she knows last position, and that's going to be 11th round. Zach rolling in for the sides of Orangutan. What do you think? Will Molly's be able to make a comeback from here on?
I mean, they have the potential. They're just not able to really capitalize on playing as a team. And Orangutan, well, their positioning is impeccable most of the time, especially Muffin Loop. The fact that they wanted to go in for a B push at a B plant, but they didn't bother clearing out main or yellow, that's really unfortunate for the side of Team Molly's there. However, I think that they are finally being able to find some momentum. This isn't their map pick, so even if they can get warmed up in time for bind, it still might be enough to take us to the decider. In the meantime, though, it is going to be Capricious who pulls out the tour de force here. The shot out from Kiri, in fact, is going to be heading right into kitchen and breaking that trademark immediately. So that's a really nice lineup that she has going there. It's going to also create some pandemonium in case they want to go in later. This is a bit of a broken buy right now. Elivu with the hero rifle trying to really create space for a team. And Orangutan, well, they seem to be content just to play most of this on the retake. Casper on the site here, so they will have to deal with her as well as any kind of utility that she has before they can really try to plant the spike. In the meantime, though, it's going to be Capricious on the A side who is able to find value towards mid as she takes down Muffin Loop, her counterpart. 4v5 right now, and Orangutan, well, they might be at a little bit of a disadvantage, but they still do have more firepower. Sway as well, playing aggressively here. Kiri with the classic, able to find a pick towards mid. That is insane. Just 3 players left right now for Orangutan, bringing things back down to a 3.
Casper takes down Kiri right now. It's going to be a 2 versus 3 Orangutan. They have the advantage right now. The player's advantage is what I mean. Ivy takes down Sway. Casper takes down Ivy. Trying to defuse Cap. She's trying to take down one player. And there you go. Casper will be taking down the chamber. And that's going to be OG taking one more round. Now, this is not just a round. It's the match point already. 6-12, a 6-round buffer that the sides of Orangutan do have with the sides of Molly's. Now, it's going to be a biggest question for the sides of Molly's. Will they be able to make a comeback from here on? Because even if they lose one round, you know it's done, right? It's the match point already. They need to be careful, and if they want this map, they need to make sure to not let go even one single off round. 10 seconds on board, Zach. It's going to be important for them.
6-12 right now, and if Mollies want to take this to overtime, they have a long road ahead of them. They need to win 6 rounds in a row while also trying to maintain economy, which looks very, very difficult to do right now. Already,
Yep.
Elu taking point with the aggression, trying to create space, and well, she manages to get main control, but they still have to deal with Casper here, who has that one way. They're gonna have to wait down for her utility to go down before they can really manage to make some headway onto the side. Casper is gonna be tagged as well, but I don't think that Kiri really has the Hunter's Furies, so that's not gonna be able to do too much off of it. Elubu though, already finding one towards his pivotal angle, getting that first pick yet again. The Hunter's Fury from Japeep's trying to deny the plant, but it's not gonna find any value either. Never mind, it takes on Kiri as I say that, bringing things back down to a 4v4, and the retake is on.
4v4 OG, they are gonna have their knives once again. So Jet with the ultimate once again can make wonders happen only if OG wants to finish it here on. But eyes on me, she was trying to defuse, gets denied. JP takes down Rose. Sage takes down her doppelganger as well. That's a 3k for Soha, but no, she gets denied. She goes down as well. 7th round. A moment of relief, I would say, for the sides of Molis, but not for a longer period of time. They got one. They need more and more. There's no stopping until and unless it's OT.
That is true. 7-12 right now, and at this point, they really need to figure out how they can build up the momentum to make sure that this works out. And you know, last round should not have been that incredibly close because the diffuse almost came through for the side of these players from Orangutan. Despite being at a little bit of a disadvantage, Japeeps went huge there. Heading into this particular round, though, I'm not sure how exactly it's going to go because, like I mentioned, it's a long road ahead for these players from the side of Molly's. A bit of an eco from Orangutan as well. And ooh, already these fights are getting super scrappy here, Dash.
Look at the aggression. They want to end it. They just want to end it no matter what. Right now, Cap, she is trying to find some more angles, but OG, the girls have already rotated now. This might be a very early rotation. Oh, not exactly all the players, but at least Sway. She's still here trying to figure out. And that's going to be a resurrection given to the Jet as well. Elubu back in action. A 5 versus 5 situation that we do have on our screens right now. Molly's on a do or die. Eyes on me, being a bit more aggressive, takes down one, but gets finished by Elubu. Sway, she takes down Ife. The investment of Hunter's Fury once again. Will it get... Yes, it gets Sway. Muffin, she takes down Rose as well. There's going to be one more player. Kiri takes down Muffin. A 1 versus 2. A do
It's all
or
down to
die
this.
situation.
Defenders win.
Well, fortunately, it is going to be the die coming in. Casper cleans thing up with that final kill onto Kiri there, who she managed to clutch out a 1v4 or a 1v3 last time around, but Orangutan, they're not going to be letting it happen again. And it is going to be Orangutan who take their first map in their favor. It was their map pick, it was Icebox, and they should be feeling very pleased with themselves about it.
Well, definitely they are happy about the fact. I mean, uh, the highlight that I want to state right now is the knife itself. I mean, I just couldn't stop myself from saying that, but the knife was something that was a moment of highlight for me in this entire map. Well, there were many. I mean, honestly, there were many in terms of plays and everything, but in terms of that one situation, it was the knife that was the highlight of the entire moment for me. But coming back to the 5k from the Sage itself was something that was, quite shocking. Talking about Sway, I guess she was somewhere down with 12 to 15 kills for herself. She was able to do, but being the only duelist, as you said, in the entire playing 5, it could have been more better. But nevertheless, it's gonna be OG taking the very first map victory for themselves. Best of 3. Okay, my bad. Best of 3, ladies and gentlemen. The first map goes for the sides of OG. Which team are you guys supporting? Let me know down in the comment section. I mean, you can just spread as much love as you can in the comment section down there. But Zach, a question for you. What do you think is going to happen in the second map as it's bind?
I mean, it could honestly go either way because Bind, it's not exactly a weak map for Orangutan. It's not as strong as, say, the Haven or, the Icebox that they just played, but it is still a good map for them. So I think it's going to come down to whether the side of Team Mollies are really going to be able to step it up. You did see some phenomenal single individual plays coming in, especially from Elu and Kiri. Both of them went huge, but the rest of the team, they also have to really get up to the times, I suppose, and manage the kind of coordination which Orangutan showed the last time around. And talking about highlight moments, I think for me it was Kitty's clutch, that 1v3 that she pulled off on 25 HP. That was pretty insane coming in on
Yep.
that particular round. So I think that's going to be it for Icebox, though. Before we head into map number 2, there is going to be a short break. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the Ace Predator League 2022. This is me, Darshita, and alongside it is going to be Zach once again. There was a short break that, we actually wanted to energize ourselves completely up. But right now, what has happened in the previous match is something that we all have witnessed an amazing victory from the sides of Orangutan. Zach, what do you have to say about it?
I mean, it was them epic, and they haven't really lost
Yep.
matches on that particular one, so they're going to be able to continue their win streak heading into it. But let's see exactly where the performance falls for the individual players, but because I think the scorecard is ready, so let's take a look at that.
Well, map-wise scorecard is already on our screens. 13-7 is where the victory was for the sides of, Orangutan. Talking about the players, 24 kills on Larab. Now, that's huge. And for the sides of Muffin from Orangutan, it's going to be 20 for her as well.
Yeah, Laraib, also known as Eluvu, Pakistan's first female Radiant for a
Yep.
reason, went huge 341 ACS. She is going to be the match MVP. But unfortunately, apart from her and Kiri, it just seemed like there wasn't enough life left in the rest of the team, especially, Caprice is one of the most popular players on the server when it comes to APAC Game Changer. She wasn't really able to put up that much of a good score. She looked a bit discomfited, but looking at Orangutan, though, it is going to be a much, much more balanced scorecard. And that's probably the reason why they did take the win in the way they did, because all of the players were able to step up huge. Muffin Loop and Casper, they're both going to be uh, the MVPs for their team, and each with 20. So that's going to be huge coming in from them. And Orangutan, well, they are going to be taking map one. Heading into map number two, though, like we've talked about, it is going to be Bind, which we're going to be seeing. So I'm not sure how exactly it's going to go. It could be a 2-0 possibly from Orangutan, because right now they do have the momentum. They do have Icebox in their pocket. But statistically, at least, Bind, it's not what you'd really call like a super strong map for them. In fact, they usually try to avoid playing it, from what I can see uh, over the course of the last few tournaments that they've played.
Well, time is something that is gonna say everything that's gonna happen in Bind, because right now it's kind of tournament point, I would say, for the sides of Orangutan. It's a best of three. Team Mollies, if they want to win it, they need to get it here itself. If they do not get their hands on Bind, it's done and dusted, and Orangutan will be called out as the winners for this entire tournament. So Bind is something that's going to be really really important for the sides of Molis right now, and so is the case with Orangutan. I mean, there's a victory right in front of you and you don't want to let it go, right? So Orangutan, they will be trying to finish it off as soon as possible.
I mean, you're right, but by and it's a map that could honestly swing either way, in my opinion, because we
Yep.
did just see that the players from Team Mollies, they were able to hold their own against a team like Orangutan. So, considering that this is a roster that was formed pretty recently, like for this tournament, and two of the players are not really used to playing with as a team with the others, it's pretty impressive that they managed to put up a scoreline against Orangutan on their own map, 13-7. Heading into Bind, I'm kind of curious to see what kind of strategies and synergies that these players have in place, what kind of agent picks we're going to be coming. But Dash, talking about Bind, what do you think, makes an ideal composition?
The only thing that I think right now is it's my favorite map. I mean, yeah, Bind is one of those maps which I do love to play. Rather than Fracture, if I talk about some map, it's going to be Bind. But right now, agent selections already on our screen. Raise, Brim, Viper, Sky, Chamber is all I expect. But I do see a Fade and the investment of Soa as well. So not sure Sky. Well, yes, there you see a Sky as well. So there's not going to be a Sage in the scenarios right now, Zach.
Yeah, and also Orangutan, they're going to be having a player subbing in. It is going to be Audiophilia coming in. So, for those who
Yep.
want some context, Audiophilia, she used to play for Alter Ego Sellers, the number one ranked team, Game Changers team in APAC. And I think they're ranked number 4 globally as well. So, a very impressive team. She just joined Orangutan like literally a week ago. They made the announcement. So, I'm excited to see how she's going to be playing in this particular matchup. Casper used to be the controller player of choice for the side of Orangutan, but she's going to be switching over to the Sky role instead. So, all these kind of switches coming in for the players from Orangutan have me very excited to see how this is going to go.
Select your
In the
agent.
meantime, though, for the defense, which is going to be Team Molly's. They do have their Molly player Brimstone Rose, who is going to be possibly playing for those lineups. Eluwu as well. She's going to be switching over from the race to the stage, and it seems like we have an almost mirror comp coming in. It's just going to be the initiators who are deferring right now. There's going to be a Sova and a Breach for the side of Team Molly's, and there's going to be a Sky and a Fade for the side of Orangutan. Now, this is very interesting because I think that both the Sky and the Fade, when it comes to initiators, they are the two most aggressive ones, so as to speak, because the utility that they have, it just enables both them and the rest of the team to really be able to push into sites. For example, the Trailblazer, the two Prowlers from the Fade, they're all going to make Sway's job much easier because they will be able to manually clear out a lot of these angles so that she can just satchel into sight and do as much damage as possible.
Definitely that is going to be the case, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be the second map of this best of 3 series. It can be the last and it cannot be. Depends on what's going to happen in this map. But right now, we are going to see Team Molly's on the defenders half, whereas Team Orangutan is all set to be on the attackers half. Right now, talking about Team Molly's, I really feel like Team Molly's is filled with all the amazing individual talents. But the only thing that went wrong in the previous match was the team coordination. So maybe if things go different this time, Team Molly's could get this one for themselves. But that's going to be the start of pistol round. Zach, what do you have to say?
I mean, already you can see the aggression coming in from Team Molly's with this crossfire being held in the showers area. Both Kiri as well as Rose are going to be holding this particular angle. The Boombot going to give away information that there's at least one player here. That Paint Shell is doing quite a bit of damage, and Rose, she's going to be stuck in this corner alone. Does manage to get one pick, gets a second as well as she connects the headshot onto Casper. Rose didn't really have a great game the last map, but she's back with a vengeance this time as she goes huge on this pistol round. A lot of damage done though to both Kiri and Rose here, so that's going to make things a bit more difficult. Eluwu is now for the backup though, and immediately she's going to be able to connect the headshot onto Ice on Me before the smokes come down. Two players left for Orangutan now. Muffin Loop already being spotted out towards this garage area, and they're going to be able to put the smoke down to try and cross over or at least get through. Muffin spamming through the smoke, trying to do some damage here. But in the meantime, it's going to be Eluwu who finds Oriophilia, who unfortunately runs out of bullets at exactly the wrong time. Muffin Loop is all alone right now, and a 1v5 is what she has to close out to possibly be able to convert this round for Orangutan.
One goes down, the second one as well. Muffin
left.
can make it happen. The next player already on to her side, takes down the third. A 1 versus 2 and 10 HP. Will she be able to clutch it? Kiri, she's low on HP and she has no idea. 11 seconds. Kiri's still trying to figure out where the spike is going down. You need to be careful, Muffin. No. After taking 3 for herself, she gets denied for the 4th and the 5th one. First round, ladies and gentlemen, rolling in from the sides of Team Molly's.
Ooh, and almost 1v5 from Muffin Loop to start things off. It's showing that this is going to be a banger of a map, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely, that's going to be the case.
Looking at the buy though, it is going to be the anti-eco coming in for the side of Molly's, who are going to be, all of them are going to be getting those Spectres in fact online. Orangutan, not really much to play with. Muffin Loop will be able to invest in that light armor at most, but that's going to be it, and perhaps a few Headhunter bullets. Orangutan on the attack yet again. Seems like they want to go towards his A side this time. And once again, Shower's control is going to be established quite early on in the round by the side of Team Molly's. Both these players pushing through, and it's going to be Eluwu this time joining Rose in this corner. The flash connecting, but it's not going to matter because the Spectres, they're still going to be more powerful than the Classics that they were up against. Both players being taken down in Showers. It's going to leave Orangutan with just 3 left right now. All of them stuck towards shot. Muffin Loop with the Headhunter. She has 3 bullets left. Has to really find a couple of picks here. Sees Kiri, but is not going to be able to connect the shot. And with 1 minute left on the clock, it remains to be seen what Orangutan can really do. Ice on Me though, going huge with the frenzy there, taking out both the players in Showers, and that's going to be 2 Spectres dropped, which Orangutan can pick up. So suddenly things are looking very different right now.
I could just see the history repeating itself once again. Kiri holding an angle, but will she be able to do that for a longer period of time? She takes down Ice on Me. That's going to be the fate. Done and dusted. That's going to be Capricious taking down Oreo as well. The last player surviving going to be Muffin. Not sure of what more she could do. with the low HP she was having, and that's going to be the second round, ladies and gentlemen, rolling in for the sides of Team Mollies. Now that Team Mollies, they got 2 for themselves. This round is going to decide a lot of things because it's going to be a full buy for the sides of Orangutan, whereas Team Mollies, they are going to be playing with the Spectres and the Ghost. Need to be careful before doing anything. 2-0.
Their fears betray them.
2-0 indeed, and Orangutan, well, they're going to be able to get their full buy in order. This time, they're going to be switching things around, heading towards the B side instead. It is going to be just 2 players lurking towards A, but Muffin, who's going to be caught off guard by Aluvu, immediately gets taken on. That's going to be 1 rifle that they'll be able to retrieve, and, well, it seems like Aluvu already, you can see the damage that she could do with the Sheriff. It's only going to get more impressive with that Vandal in hand. In the meantime, the Orangutan, they managed to get control of the B long area, and it seems like they are going to be coming in through the octagon any second. Both Haife and Capricious are going to be playing here. Haife gets a little bit too overeager though, and immediately gets punished by Sway. Oriophilia as well. In the meantime, towards the shower area on the lurk is going to be able to take down Kiri. 3 players left right now for Mollies, and they have a lot of work to do. Capricious hasn't been cleared out yet, so she might be able to do a lot of damage. She goes and check, gets 2 for the troubles. It's going to be Sway who's still stuck on site between 2 players right now. 2v3 in Orangutan. Their full buy looking very difficult right now all of a sudden.
I'm loving the way Team Mollies is performing right now. I was talking about team coordination, and right now you can see how wonders team coordination is doing. Rose takes down 1 out of 2 versus 1 situation. Sway takes down 1 more. The Raze, she's literally low on HP. Sway, 9 HP is all she has. Will she be able to clutch it? Patience is all she needs, but no, Rose takes Sway down. 3 consecutive rounds, ladies and gentlemen, rolling into the sides of Team Mollies right now. 0 on the sides of Orangutan is something that is shocking for me. But as I said, team coordination is something that would make you do wonders right now. And Team Mollies is looking really, really strong on bind.
It is going to be the case, and a 3-0 right now. The operator coming in as well for Capricious, and it's looking like it's going to be yet another round that could be converted in favor of Team Mollies here. The Orangutan players yet again grouped up towards his B side. Capricious with the operator, spots the player, tries to get the pick, but it's going to be pushed off the angle by that Prowler coming in. A beautiful play from the fade of Orangutan here. However, Capricious, she's not going to miss the second time around as she gets that pick with the operator. The orb has been taken as well, so it's going to give away information that there is another player towards this side of the map, side of B long, I mean. And both of them are going to be trapped here until Casper takes the DP, so that's going to make things a bit more rough. Capricious is aware though that there might be yet another player here. Muffin Loop jump peeking, playing a very dangerous game here, trying to bait the off shot. Does manage to do that before she finally TPs. And in the meantime, the rotation has gone over towards the A side, where there are still 2 players left, both Kiri and Rose holding strong. Rose also has that orbital strike to work with if she wants to add a little bit more firepower, assuming that she gets that pick onto Oriophilia, which she does. 3v5 right now on Orangutan. It looks like they're going to be getting a 4th, it looks like Mollies are going to be getting a 4th round on the board right now.
Well, definitely that can be the case right now. Muffin, she's invested on her 2 foes. She takes down a Luvu. That's 1 player down. A 4v2. Still doable with the ultimate of the chamber itself. But will that be the case? Well, Kiri, she's been caught. Muffin takes down Kiri as well. That's going to be 2 players done and dusted. Needs to be careful of the Yoka position. There's 1 player up there. Operator versus the chamber ult. What's going to happen? Sway takes down Rose. 11 seconds on both. Plant. She's trying to plant, but gets denied for the first time. Spike will go down. Well, yes, the spike gets planted. Needs to be careful. Sway takes down Ive. 1 player goes down. Capricious takes down Muffin. A 1 versus 1 Zach.
Sway does have that showstopper online as well, so that's going to make things even more difficult right now for Capricious, who able to get the headshot and TP away, saving herself a beautiful round coming in from the side of Team Mollies. It looked like Orangutan could have it in the bag, but Capricious, she manages to stay ice cold and manages to close out the round with that 1v2. That, the fact that she had an operator as opposed to a normal rifle makes the job even more difficult. especially considering the utility that Sway had to throw at her. But it's going to be the round coming through finally for the side of Team Molly's 4-0 right now. And Orangutan, well, they are going to be able to afford their full buy this particular round. That is something in their favor. But unless they manage to win this, well, it seems like they're at risk of letting Molly's really build up an almost insurmountable amount of momentum right now.
Absolutely. 4-0, something that was quite unpredictable, I would say. You know, to the way that OG performed the previous match, but right now, I think holding an angle, trying to take down players. The shot dart. This is a lot of damage, but not enough to take one player down. Ice on me, trying to hold an angle, trying to peek, trying to take some, at least first pick for the team. Right now, talking about Team Molly's, they got their 3 you know, ultimates ready, and that's going to be the investment of one of them. Well, from the sides of OG, but right now, a 5 versus 4. Well, make it a 5 versus 3 because one more player goes down. The investment of Seekers from the sides of Casper could get the information of one player, but doesn't matter because the player is already inside the site. Muffin holding an angle. Kiwi is stuck. She's literally stuck between 3 players. Couldn't do anything, and Kiwi goes down. A 4 versus 2, Zach.
Just 2 players left for Orangutan. I think that the spike is making its way onto the B side slowly, but the showstopper is being invested on the top of that spike. Not going to be able to find much value here, but the kill still nevertheless comes through for the side of these Team Molly players. It's all down to just one player right now who has to close out this 1v4 somehow to try and win the round here. An almost impossible task. Muffin left all alone, and well, she's going to be taken down. Round for Team Molly's comes in yet again 5-0, and they're looking quite unstoppable at this moment.
It's getting difficult for Orangutan right now. It's getting really, really difficult. 5-0, 5 back-to-back round for the sides of Team Molly's, and right now look at Orangutan. They got by, but just 2 players, right? It's gonna be the Oreo and Muffin. They got Vandals, and they need to do the heavy lifting. Casper not been able to do so much in this map. I mean, 0 kills for Casper is something that's pretty shocking for me because of the way because of the amazing player she is. Captain's trying to be a bit more aggressive this time, tries to take one player down, gets denied, and Lubu takes down Sue. It's one player done and dusted. Kiwi holding the same angle as Lubu, trying to take down players with the boom body, but takes down Muffin. Ice on me takes down a Lubu. That's going to be a trade, but not a fair one because Orangutan is still on the disadvantage of the man players standing. A 4 versus 3, ladies and gentlemen. Orangutan, they need rounds, but the question is, will Molly's will Molly's give them the round?
I mean, the question is whether they can take it right now, and like you mentioned, they are at a player deficit. They also don't really have the weapons to work with. They do have the ultimates at the very least. They have that Nightfall available from their Fade player, so that might be pivotal heading into this round. They hurt the judge as well, so they really don't want to take that fight inside that U-Haul area because that judge is going to be waiting for them. Capricious, though, holding this particular angle. Might be able to get the pick, but a rad miss coming in from her is going to force them off the angle. I saw me with the second on the round. The judge from Kitty, though, that's going to be too powerful, and she manages to get a pick before she falls back. She does also have that Breach ultimate available, the Rolling Thunder ready to go here once the plant is hurled. Is it going to be invested right now, or are they going to save it for the retake is the question. She does invest it, but it might not be enough heading into this particular round. The Orbital Strike as well, buying way more time for the players to really reposition themselves and try to make this 2v2 work. Oreophilia Nice on Me making their way towards this area, this U-Haul's area instead. Ice on Me solo here, has gotten 3 kills on the round. Can she get more is going to be the question. The Brimstone Smoke coming through as well. The spike is tapped, and it seems like Hype is aware of the possibility that there's going to be players here. Oreophilia gets both though, and finally Orangutan, they're able to make this half-by round work as they get for their first on the scoreboard here. A beautiful round coming in from them. 3 for Ice on Me and 2 for Oreophilia. That's basically a 2v5 right there, mathematically at least.
I can buy for you, my treat. That's a good spot.
Finally, Orangutan, they're showing signs of life here. And it seems like Capricious is going to be playing with the tour de force instead. Despite winning 5 rounds in a row, the economy is looking a little bit dire right now for the players from the side of Team Molly's here. who are going to be forced to play with half armor as well as other things that the Trailblazer is going to find value right off the bat, as Hyphy is not going to be able to break it. The Total is still active though, and Capricious, she still might be able to do some damage here. Looking at where exactly they're playing, the Painters from Eluvo are not going to be able to find anything, and with 3 players on the side, they have a lot of work to do. Eluvo already able to find one though, with the help of that Vandal that she has in her hands. Just 4 players left right now for Orangutan, and yet again, it seems like there's going to be a judge in action here. This time, though, it's towards the hookah instead.
Well, definitely that is going to be the case. One round Orangutan got for themselves, but they need more. Right now, Sway, she's trying to go.
There.
She is being really sneaky, I would say, for the moment. There's no loud noise made at any point of time. The spike, it's not planted yet. 38 seconds on the board. They need to be careful. It's going to be a sudden push. Kiri trying to make things work for her favor, but Rose knows where Sway is. She'll be punishing Sway, and that's going to be one player down. And Lubu takes down Nicely, but Oreo, she takes down, and Lubu. Casper takes down Capricious. A 3 versus 2. The spike, it's getting planted, but well, yes, no, it's get denied for the moment. Rose is trying to enter the side, but will she be able to do that? Casper takes down Ivy, Rose takes down Oreo. 10 seconds on board. The spike isn't yet. They need to plant the spike. Casper, will she be able to do wonders right now? Well, no is the answer. Kiri takes down Casper. 6th round, rolling in for the sides of Molly's. Orangutan, it was a moment of relief for them after getting 1 round, but it has came back to the same circle where Orangutan is completely stuck. Yes, things might change when the sides will change, but getting few rounds right now is going to be the most important thing.
It clearly shows why Mollies have gone in for the pick of Bind here. It's definitely one of the strongest maps looking at how they're playing. And even the teams which Rose, Kitty and Elubu play for, it is one of their favorite maps to play. So we're seeing exactly why that's going to be the case. Yet again, Orangutan, they're going to be forced into an eco here. You see a sheriff in the hands of some of these players. I think that at least Muffin Loop, she will be able to have the tour de force to work around with. But apart from that, things not really working out right now, at least weapon-wise. In the meantime, Casper, she's going to be able to connect a headshot onto High Fae, but immediately gets treated out. Things back down to a 4v4. Muffin with the tour de force, not able to find as much value until these smokes really go down. And looking at the other ultimates available, Eluvo does have that showstopper ready to go. That boombot gonna give away information that there is gonna be a player towards the showers area. They're gonna hear the rendezvous coming through as well.
Ooh.
Capricious though, the aggression towards that short area is gonna immediately find value. 3 players for Orangutan. Muffin Loop, 4 bullets left in that tour de force, and she has so much work to do off the back of that.
Well, definitely that's going to be the case. The spike, it's not planted yet. 37 seconds on board. Lubu takes down Nicely. 1 player goes down. Lubu trying to take down the 6th punish. That's going to be Muffin. Man, the last player surviving from the side of Orangutan. What more can she do? Well, I guess we all know what the answer is. It's going to be a no. 7-1. Orangutan, they at least need back-to-back rounds from here on. Even if they lose 1 round, it could be a big advantage for after switching the sides, because 3 rounds more and the sides of Molly's at the double digit, and you know right what happens after hitting the double digit. So sides of Team Orangutan, they need to be kidding me. From the sides of OG right now, she has a Vandal to work around with, but a half shield is something she needs to be really careful about. The setup from the defender's half is all set and done. The question is, where is going towards the B side for now?
I've got your trail.
Already the boombot giving away information as to where exactly Elubu is playing. She's going to be trying to hold down this area. Both the paint shells and the showstopper have been invested here for the side of the defense. I wouldn't say it found a great deal of value, but off the back of that Seekers coming in from Casper, they're going to at least know where some of these players are and be able to get that sight down. We're looking at a full 5-on-5 retake, and finally, at least, it seems like there is a bit of an advantage for the side of the players from Orangutan. But even as I say that, Rose, she's going to go huge towards the CP side here, finding 2 already. The Orbital Strike being invested on top of everything else is going to take down Oreophilia. It's all down to just Sway, who takes a long scenic route, making her way through hookah. seems like the possibility of her being that is known by the players of Team Molly's, who do manage to take her down. She finds one, but that's going to be it because Rose is going to be able to get the defuse and a 3K for herself. 8-1 right now. And well, Orangutan, they're a team who are really known for making impossible comebacks happen. I think one time around they were 11-1 in the first half and they managed to win the game 14-12. So you can never count out Orangutan as a team because they are known for making some of the most clean comebacks in the history of the game. But you can't always expect that to be the case here. And yet again, it's going to be an eco for Orangutan. They do have the orbital strike for Oreophilia, but that's going to be it for them, ultimate-wise at least. I think that Sway is also only one away from the showstoppers, so they could be trying to make this work with those ults.
Capricious. She is denying everything, I would say. Everything. And the main thing that she's denying is the site entry itself. Eluvu takes down one. Capricious, once again, holding the Shaw's angle. Sway. She has a Marshal. Now it's going to be a Marshal versus Operator. The question is going to be who is better this time. And, well, you got the answer. That's going to be Capricious taking down Sway. Operator. Shot that gets connected. A 4v2 Orangutan again and again on the deficit. May it be a player deficit or the weapon deficit, but Eluvu takes down 1, 2 and the third one as well. 9th round, ladies and gentlemen, rolling in for the sides of Team Molly's. I have to give it to this team. What a beautiful performance it is. 9-1. Orangutan still stuck, but what's going to happen next? Will it be 10-1 or a 9-2 is going to be the biggest question right now. Well, I just hope it's not a 9-3 once again. But you just cannot predict what happens next because it's Orangutan versus Molly's.
In we go.
Yes, that is going to be the case. Orangutan, they do have 2 ultimates to work with. At the very least, that is something that's going in their favor already. You can see the showstopper being invested by Sway, who immediately gets shut down by Capricious. She's not messing around with the operator here as she gets that clean pick right now. It's a WAD that there might be a player close and gets a second pick as well. Ice on me goes on. Both these players going down towards Showers is immediately going to derail the A push coming in from Orangutan, who immediately pivot. They swap plans and they go towards B instead. But this isn't going to be an easy take because there are 2 players towards this long area, both Rose and Eluvu, lying in wait for the players from Orangutan if they decide to come towards this B side. And yet again, that smoke coming down from Rose is going to be huge here, immediately stopping any kind of aggression coming in from the side of the players of Orangutan, who are stuck right now. They're making their way back towards long. But Eluvu, she's lying in wait. She's holding the angle. And Oreophilia takes it down. 4v3. And it seems like Orangutan, they're ready to go in for this B pick here. A very awkward interaction. Rose finds 2 though. It's all down to just Muffin Loop. A 1v4 to clutch out what looked like a round that could have been doable. It's no longer going to be the case. She gets the spike, but Rose with the 3K is going to shut Orangutan down completely. And Dash, it's going to be 10-1 right now.
Round in the half.
Double digits already for the sides of Molly's. But Capricious, I have to give it to her. The way she is just playing with that operator, man, oh man. As you said, she is not messing around. She is just going ham on her enemies right now. 10-1, ladies and gentlemen. 10 seconds on board for the last round before the switch. What can Orangutan do? Sway with the Marshal. Other players, they got Pandal to work around with, but that's not the full shield that they do have. Muffin trying to blind the enemies right exactly in the front, but it's going to be of no use right now trying to check the corners as well. Muffin being sneaky, being slow, trying to give no information. Kiri shielding the U-Alls, and she knows there are players right exactly in the front, but it's going to be a split from the sides of Orangutan right now. I mean, look at players, two and 3 players with A side. Fine, yes, it has made it way towards the A side, but not exactly inside. Precious way. It's gonna be the investment of Tour de Force, and it's gonna get back 1 kill. Eluvu holding an angle. She can take it down. Well, yes, she does. Eluvu, 1 more. Those holding an angle. She will be taking down Muffin. That's gonna be 1 more player. Orangutan, the last woman surviving. Kiri, what more she can do? Well, that's it. Team Mollies, they end this half with a flawless Zac.
Beautiful round coming in from the men. The worst part is they had like 3 ultimates which they didn't even use. They just had to like use them at the end of the round because they didn't have the chance to use them during the course of the half itself. Looking at this though, Orangutan, they're under a lot of pressure if they want to try and make this comeback. They have to win 11 rounds in a row. They can afford to lose just one round. It has to start with this pistol, and they have to really try and convert this particular defense pistol round. Otherwise, things are looking very rough for them. Already, you can see the attack is poised up towards his B side. It seems like that's going to be where the hit is possibly coming in as they make their way towards the hookah, trying to get some control. There's going to be nobody really playing that though. They've left it down to just an alarm bot, as both the players are going to be watching this long angle instead. The recon from Hi-Fi is going to give away some information as to their locations. And they know that the hookah area has been taken as well. Already Capricious, though, she's able to get that first pick onto Sway. Both the players from Orangutan still holding strong in this particular angle. Muffin going huge there in particular as she gets both the Headhunter as well as a classic shot. It's all down to just Capricious. She has to ace this to be able to win this pistol round here. We did see Muffin Loop almost pull off a 1v5 in the first half, and this time it's going to be the Chamber from the side of Molly's who has to do the same thing. The spike dropped on side doesn't make her job easier either, so there's a lot of work ahead of Capricious. The Haunt already possibly giving away her position. Capricious though still able to do so much damage here and managed to get away alive as well in this 1v3 situation. Only Aureophilia really has the HP to try and close it out. Capricious with a 3k on the round, 15 HP left. And the only problem is the spike is still on the side there.
She can take down one more. Left. As you can see, the Chamber is already low on HP. That's 18 HP. But what's going to be the case? A 1 versus 2. A 2 or tie. She gets caught by Muffin. 11-2. Orangutan getting the pistol for themselves. That makes me say that they might, I wouldn't say they will, but they might get the next round as well. We have seen the bonus round giving an advantage to the opponent, so maybe the history might repeat itself. But for now, Orangutan, as they need rounds for themselves, this might be the time they can just change things around. 11-2, ladies and gentlemen. It's a time where Orangutan needs to step up. If they want to end it here, they need to step up, or the only way to end it will be the decider fracture itself. But nevertheless, the push going in towards the B side, will it be a match point for the side of Team Molly? Is the biggest question that I do have right now. Muffin trying to take one player down. Hi-Fi will be the one punishing her. One player goes down. A 5 versus 4.
Oh, Casper already taking so much damage right now. Brought down to 70 HP, and she's going to be forced to fall back here towards this hookah area. The spike is going down as well on top of everything else. So at least that's going to be a little bit more money in the bank for the side of these players from Team Molly's here. The retake is on though, and they still have hookah control. So the players from Team Mollies, they're gonna have to be very, very careful about this. 3 players right now towards this hookah area. Already the satchel coming through, but Capricious yet again finds a shot with the Headhunter. It's all down just Casper as well as Ice on Me. Never mind, it's going to be the Thrifty coming through for match point for the side of Team Mollies, who seem extremely determined to push this to map number 3. I think this is the second time that they're able to really steal away these anti-ecos from the players never mind. Last time around it was Orangutan who did the same, and this time they're getting their revenge as Mollies. They take themselves to match point and to map 3 possibly, unless Orangutan pull off a miracle somehow.
A gift.
It's getting difficult and difficult for the sides of Orangutan right now. Match point already for the sides of Mollies, and right now Orangutan, they need 10 back-to-back rounds. Now that's really huge, what I am asking, but Elubu trying to enter the side, takes down one. That's a huge momentum boost that she already has. One player goes down, Elubu takes down the second one as well. It's gonna be it. I do feel like Muffin takes down Capricious. One player goes down from the sides of Mollies as well. Sway. Now that's gonna be a bucky, but Shock Dart is something she needs to be careful about. Kiwi takes down Sway. A 4 versus 2 Orangutan on the back end right now. Elubu takes down Casper, the last man surviving. Kiri takes down Muffin. Ladies and gentlemen, it is it. And we are going into the third map. Because Team Mollies, they make a huge play in this map. It's a 13-2. Unbelievable.
absolute dominance is going to be the keyword that I would use here right now for that performance coming in from Team Mollies, who look like an entirely different team, honestly. Like Rose, for example, she was absolutely phenomenal on this particular map. She looked so comfortable on that Brimstone, and she went huge. There were so many rounds. It was her getting those multi kills, her using a utility to completely deny any kind of push from the Orangutan players, and just providing so much value on that first defensive half there. But Team Ollies, they look phenomenal. The one thing that I'm really sad about is that they didn't really get to play as many attack rounds, so we're not going to be seeing any kind of Molly lineups coming in from them. But bad jokes apart, that
Yeah.
is a great performance coming in, and it makes me really happy to see because. They are one of the stronger teams. They are a very strong team, Orangutan, and the fact that Mollies is able to put up that kind of a show against them, well, it makes me very excited for the third map, which is going to be Fracture. But before we talk about that and head into the map itself, we're going to be taking a small break. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the Asus Predator League 2022. This is me, Darshita, welcoming you back, guys, to this casting desk, and alongside me it's going to be Zach once again. This map was filled up with a lot of twists and turns, and I have to give it to team the team once again for getting a beautiful victory on the previous map. As I said, I wanted it to be the third map. So Zach, we are heading towards Fracture.
Yeah, I don't know if the road had a lot of twister turns. It seemed like a very straightforward
Yeah.
13-2 easy victory coming in for the side of team Molly's there. Huge coming in from them. Let's take a look at the scorecard to see how exactly they managed this apart from just Rose popping off, of course. Eluvu switching over to the Race hasn't really cramped his style because she's still gonna be 19-11, but Capricia, she managed to wake up, like I said, one of the strongest players in the region, going from that rather lackluster performance on Icebox to a massive 354 ACS on this particular map here on Bind. In fact, I think it is going to be Eluvu who still takes the MVP because her ACS is a bit higher, but nevertheless, both of these players were absolutely massive in keeping the scoreline so dominant here. For the side of Orangutan, it is going to be Muffin Loop 13 kills to a name who is going to be the MVP, and she's going to be the only player as well, unfortunately, who has double digits coming in from OG here.
Casper, Aisunmi, Sue, and Oreophilia, well, the four players, they do have 8, 6, 6, and 6 kills respectively in their names. But looking at the deaths, that's going to be 14, 15, 13. That's a huge of loss, I would say, that OG has faced in the previous match. But right now, it's decider. The best of three series comes down to a point where either of them can win. Now, Fracture is a map that I would say sometimes I feel like it's going to be attacking favors, but again, at the end of the day, it depends on all the way you play and everything. So I'm just hoping for the best to win. Obviously, what do you have to say about Fracture? I mean, what do you feel about this map?
I mean, I personally I like watching it. I love casting it. I hate playing it, but that's just my views on the map. So the map itself, like you mentioned, it is sort of geared towards attackers unless you figure out a good strategy for your
Yeah.
defense. The fact that it has four ultops really helps attackers to charge up those ultimates very quickly if they plan for it, and helps them to really convert more rounds. Orangutan, well, looking at their match history on Fracture, they have a very mixed history. They have like a 50% win rate, so they do okay, I suppose. And as for the agent comp as well, when it comes to Fracture, I think that one agent that always gets a lot of love is going to be that Breach, right? As an initiator, he provides so much value with the fault lines, with the ultimate, as well as that particular aftershock ability, which can completely deny any kind of plants in the default position. So I think that the Breach is going to be an agent that finds an incredible amount of value. When it comes to duelists, though, I think it could go either way. You can see the race pick coming in because I know for a fact that both Sway and Eluwu love playing that particular agent.
Yep.
But more than that, I think the Neon is the duelist of choice on this particular map, and it's easy to see why because it's a really big map. And when you're playing on attack, you really want to get those rotations, mess around with the timings for the players. Neon lets you do all of that, and the ultimate as well with the recent patch kicking in. It's gonna be insanely supercharged. I think 2 headshots or 3 headshots. It has a 3x multiplier, so that's immediately gonna be the player going down. So if they do pick that Neon, I'm gonna be excited to see how it goes. But what about the rest of the agents? What do you think we're gonna be seeing there?
Cypher? I mean, I will be opting in for Cypher. I mean, that's completely a different agent that I'm looking forward to. But well, yes, Cypher is something that I'll be looking forward to in this specific map of Fracture. As I said, the way this map started and it came into scenario, I actually didn't love playing this map, as you said a while ago. But right now, by playing this map continuously, I'm actually loving the way this map exactly goes by. So yeah, Cypher is gonna be one of the agents I'm looking forward to. Sage, maybe not. Viper as the same case, maybe, or maybe not sure for at least Viper or Sage. But yeah, Cypher is something that I am looking forward to.
Like you mentioned, Viper is a maybe or maybe not because I think these days the controller of choice for Fracture is going to be that Brimstone. Incredibly good with the utility because while he only has 3 smokes, his ultimate is important for taking control of areas like Sands and Tower or just playing a very nasty post plant situation. I think one particular round I saw in the VCT of Brimstone clutch out of 1v3 right off the back of the ultimate as well as the lineup which they had for the Molly. And this is something that I really want to see coming in from Team Mollies in particular, that those Brimstone lineups if they are going to be opting for that particular agent. But yeah, I think that is going to cover agent picks. Apart from this, of course, it is going to possibly be a chamber coming in for both these teams. I know, looking at the players so far, both Capricious and Muffin Loop, they have really stepped up huge. And Muffin Loop in particular, the fact that she's able to come into Orangutan at this late juncture. Before this, for those who know her, she's been a pivotal player in the Valorant scene, Valorant women scene in India for a very long time. She she was part of one of India's best rosters last time around, which was Asteria. She's a lefty, so if anybody is looking to pick her up, she's going to be a great pickup for you. So yeah, Muffin Loop on the chamber, a pretty insane agent, but capricious. Well, you saw how impactful she was the last time around on Bind, so it might come down to a battle between these two chambers. But looking at the performance of the duelists so far, well, I'm excited to see if Elu, she's going to be swapping over to the Neon, making sure that we see her play three different duelists in three maps, or if we're going to see her go in for the Rays instead.
Well, this is gonna be all about the agent selection. But as you mentioned about Capricious, I mean, I want to see her with Operator. The way she has performed on Bind with the Operator, every time you see she was there standing and holding strong the entire side just with one single operator. Now that's how phenomenal the performance was from the sides of Capricious. I'm opting. I'm actually looking forward to see her with some amazing plays. But there's one more thing I would love to mention is Casper. The first map that we witnessed for today, Casper, she stepped up huge. She was doing a phenomenal job. But when it come back to Bind, I felt like Casper, there was some or few things lacking behind. Right now, I'm really looking forward that Casper, what miracles she has to do.
I mean, she, like I mentioned, before Audiophilia joined, she was Orangutan's main controller
Yep.
player. Usually do see her on the smoke, so perhaps switching over to the Sky made her feel a little bit less comfortable than she did on the Viper. Because Casper, before Audiophilia joined, she only played Chamber or the controller agents for the particular, for depending on the map, of course. I think on Icebox, she is used to playing Chamber or Viper, mostly the Chamber, I believe. So this last minute role switch to the Initiator instead might be making things a bit more difficult for her. But heading into Fracture, I really hope that we do see a close map coming up for both of these teams. I'm excited to really cast this map because I know a lot of these players from a very long time, and the fact that they're all playing against each other in a grand final like this, it's just really exciting for me. So it remains to be seen who is going to win, because it comes down to whether Orangutan, they can really convert Fracture into their favor or not, because because this particular team, right, Team Mollies, they're not a team that's been playing together for a very long time. But heading into agent select, let's see what exactly they have in store for us.
Well, agent selections already on our screens, and we are going to witness Sage from both the sides. There's going to be the investment of Ray's Chamber. Now, through the discussion that we had, I feel like the comms, mirror comms, yep, they are going to be.
One thing that surprises me is that both of these teams have gone in for the Sage pick, but Sage allows you that extra bit of
Yep.
versatility both on attack and defense, because when you're attacking into a particular site, you can wall off those angles to really get into the site. So that's going to be some value coming in from that particular agent. The resurrection, of course, the ultimate is always useful, making the round back. You can really get over those handicaps which you have when you lose a lot of players. So that is a big plus coming in. I would have liked to have seen a fade or a KO, because again, that double initiator comp just provides so much information and value. But well, sometimes it just comes down to you playing the agent which you play the best. And Chloe, who is Ice on Me, one of the second most recent joinees for Orangutan, she joined them for the last tournament they played, which was VCT APAC Overtime. And she went huge there. In fact, the biggest comeback which Orangutan has had, 11-1. They were 1-11.5, and her Killjoy, she was MVP, and they managed to win 14-12 off the back of phenomenal plays and clutches coming in from her. So that is a big W right now. Whether she can do the same on this pistol it's gonna be interesting to watch. But right now, Molly's, they're in a bit of a difficult situation. They're starting off on the defense here on this map, so they have to be really careful about how they're gonna play this. Already, it seems like they're gonna be opting to go in for a retake on this east side, because nobody's really playing aggressive here.
Well, A side, yes. For now, it's completely left empty. But very soon, we might see players on the A side as well. Talking about the B side, well, there is a Sage and a Chamber that we do have on that side. But for now, the players are getting ready. Orangutan versus Team Mollies, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be the last map of this best of 3 series. To all those who are, new here in the stream, well, I would like to inform you guys on how this day went through. We started with the map of Icebox, where Team Orangutan got a beautiful victory. But coming back to the map of Bind, Team Mollies, they answered it back in an amazing way. 13-2 is something that we just witnessed a while ago in the map of Bind, and this is the decider. Yes, Fracture is going to be the decider, and it's going to decide who is going to take the victory. The amazing prize pool of 1,50,000, where the first prize goes for 1 lakh and the second goes for 50,000.
I mean, there's a lot on the line here because it's basically double or half, which these teams have to fight for right now. I think we are having a small technical pause while we figure things out. But looking at the composition for the side of Orangutan, they are gonna have a great time on attack, but it's gonna depend on Sway, who has so far at least today been a bit lackluster, for lack of a better word. But we are going to be heading into the round right now. Orangutan already shaping up for a full 5-woman push towards this B side here. The wall from Hi-Fi being invested towards this arcade is going to deny any kind of lurk potential from that particular area. But it's not going to matter because everybody from Orangutan, they're going to be heading right here. They don't clear this corner though. Capricious is able to take down Sway and immediately find value. There are 2 players still left in this tower area. The headshots are pristine from these players, and immediately Orangutan, they fall like flies. It's all down to just Muffin Loop, who was on the lurk and is immediately met with the wall here. Does spot out Hi-Fi, does a lot of damage to her, but she's a sage. She's going to be able to heal right back up in a while, or at least play safely, because there are 4 other players here. Yet again, Muffin Loop left in this very undesirable situation, for lack of a better word. And yet again, she has to close out a 1v5 to try and somehow convert this round here.
It's difficult. And guess what? We might start this map again with a flawless rolling in. And as I said, flawless, ladies and gentlemen. Team Molly starting it off in the decider map with flawless. First round, yes, they got it for themselves. Second round, well, time will say everything, because we have seen this happening in the past 2 previous matches, that the bonus round is something that you do not have your hands on. So maybe that might be the case once again. But Team OG, they have nothing. There's just a classic to play around with. They need to get this round for themselves. They'll obviously get a full buy the next round, but they need to be careful. Muffin trying to go from the dish to the A sides, whereas the other players are trying to go towards the B side. A side, there are 3 players already. B, you can see. Oh wait, never mind. The push, it's not exactly completely called yet. The players are still holding the spawn and they are just waiting at the spawn. Elubu trying to be a bit more aggressive, waiting for more information.
Still 5v5 right now, and Eluvu, well, she's not going to really push too far, which is the biggest mistake that you see being made in a lot of these anti-eco rounds. They tend to get a little bit too aggressive. Hi-Fi already watching the angle is going to be able to spot out just a pixel from Sway there, and the slow is immediately going to deter any kind of ground being made towards the B side. The players are regrouping, and it seems like they might be trying to go in for the A commit, possibly. But look at the positioning right now. Both Eluvu and Rose are going to be holding this deadly crossfire here. And they do have some reach utility from Japeeps, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Already you can see Eluvu with the spray doing so much damage here. The crossfire comes in huge. And yet again, it's going to be Muffin Loop left alone in a 1v5 right now. Gets spotted out as well towards this drop area. And it's going to be finally the counterpart, Capricious, taking her down. A second flawless round for the side of Team Molly's. And they're going to be able to keep all of the Spectres as well. In fact, you might even see some kind of a bonus buy coming in if they didn't buy now. But they're all going to be able to get Spectres online, keep their Spectres online. In the meantime, the full buy does come in for Orangutan, but they're going to be 2 players who are just stuck with light armor, because I think they invested in some Sheriffs or Frenzies the last time around. So not exactly an ideal situation. Orangutan yet again seems like they are going to be possibly going in for a B commit. And the first obstacle they're going to have to deal with, well, it's going to be Capricious and her Headhunter. Tries to TP away, but immediately Sway is going to take her down. Finally, the first blood coming through for both of these impactful players from the side of Orangutan. They have sight. Rose finding Muffin Loop, though. That's going to be huge, because that's going to be a rifle which they can pick up. 3 versus 4 right now, and the retake, it's going to be on.
Spike gets planted. 1 player really low on HP from the sides of Team Molly's. She needs to be careful. There's no healer because the Sage is already done. Sway, she needs to be careful and get back, because the grenade is something she needs to be really, really careful about. Lugu takes down Sway. Eyes on me. Just enlightening fire. Takes down 2. JP's takes down Eluvu. That's going to be the very first round rolling in for the sides of Team Orangutan. 2-1. Now that both of them do have a bye, it's gonna be amazing to witness. But one more thing which is quite interesting is Capricious and the operator. I really want to see how, I mean, look at the investment made. There's going to be an operator and half shield with
Right
0
there.
creds remaining. It's a huge investment that Capricious has made,
Keep
and
up.
if they lose on it, it's going to be difficult for the next round.
Again, it's going to be the operator posted towards his B side instead, and it might not be the perfect call because it seems like Orangutan, they're going to be going in for a B execute. I'm sorry, an A execute instead. Already, you can see 4 players making their way towards this drop area, while it's just going to be Rose playing main instead. So they made their way on the side. They have walled off the CT as well, but Kitty is going to immediately break it. So that's going to create a little bit more pandemonium right now. Muffin look already taking out Elwu. That's going to be the star duelist out of the picture for the side of Molly's. 4 players still left though, and well, Rose, she's going to be playing such a dangerous game. Gets 1, but immediately gets traded out. Things back down in advantage of Orangutan. Capricious with the operator. She's going to have to be really careful about this. She knows that there's probably going to be a player towards the drop area, but apart from that, it's going to be the rest of the team who has to do with a lot of footwork. Japeeves gets spotted out as well, so that's going to be a concussion invested. The crossfire between these players is really good. Kitty finding 2 somehow. Hyphe getting 1. It's all down to just Muffin look yet again. A 1v3 to close out. Her position is known, and she pulls out the tour de force, but her elbow is going to be all Capricious. Needs to close down that kill, and off the back of that, the full buy from Molly's is going to be converted. 3-1 right now, and they still hold on to the operator for the next round.
3-2-1. Mollies, they get 1 more for themselves. The spike, it just made its way inside the site. It got planted, but the post plant was something that didn't actually work in the favors of Team Orangutan. Right now, there's gonna be there's gonna be an operator, obviously, but the push. Now look at what Orangutan has decided. They will not be going in from the main, but behind is something, and the arcade area is something that the sides of team, Mollies needs to be really careful about. Hyphe, she'll be concussed for a while, but right now, the wall, it goes down. Slow Arb, yes, she is trying to stop the push as much as she can and slow it down. But for how long is going to be the biggest question. Ice on me still holding the angle. The players of the sides of Team Orangutan, I'm just looking at the one single player who's just waiting, not doing anything. Ice on me, so she's already down there holding an angle, but what's going to be the case? Everything at a piece for a moment, but it does feels like this piece is just the piece that we have before the storm.
Interesting. They've completely left the A side open. They're playing on full retake here. It seems like Kiri is finally aware of the possibility that the rotation might be coming through. So she's going to be making her way towards the spawn. But this is extremely confident coming in right now from Team Molly's here, who are willing to just leave the side completely up for the retake. Kiri as well, pushing up a bit aggressively. Will be spotting out the head of Sway. And that Tremor is immediately going to stop. Make things much more difficult right now for the push coming in right now. Sway satcheling into sight already. But both Capricious and Hyphe, they're going to keep the spike from finding any kind of headway. Just 2 players left right now. Capricious with her operator trained on the spike, ready to take anybody down who tries to go towards it. Manages to jump down as well, doing a lot of damage. And Kiri, she's not afraid to get aggressive right now. All the utility in the world being dumped at these 4 players. It's all down to just Japeeves, who's going to be run and gunned down by Rose. 4-1 right now, a flawless to boot, and this is going to be the 3rd flawless round which the players from Molly's have gotten on board here.
3 flawless in 5 rounds.
Right there.
Team Molly's, amazing job. I mean, they are just doing an amazing job. Orangutan, right now we talk about the ultimates, there's just going to be the resurrection that they do have to play around with. But if you talk about Team Molly's, they got the show stopper, and it could stop the things entirely, at least for 1 round for the sides of Team Orangutan. They really need to be careful. Eyes on me and other players. Right now, the sides of Team Orangutan going in towards the B side. There are 2 players already towards the B side. Mafaldo trying to peek, trying to gain more information of whether there is an operator or no. Well, the answer is no itself. Eluvu from the behind, holding a position. Casper going into a complete different angle. Muffin, she's holding the corners. The push that was into a site a while ago has turned the directions towards the A side. There was one player with the operator, but no, she gets denied. Needs to go back. Kiri Capricious. Will she be able to do something with the operator? But nevertheless, Muffin takes down a Luvu. That's one player down. The Raze goes down. And so is the showstopper itself. Muffin Loop, she goes down. That's going to be Rose taking her down. A 4 versus 4, Zach.
That is going to be the case in Orangutan. Well, they've made the rotation over to this B side here. They do have the Resurrection available if they want to bring Muffin Loop back into the game. Casper, though, with that beautiful orbital strike, immediately finding value onto Rose, who was using her ultimate as well at the same time, I believe. It's going to be a 5v2 right now, as it is going to be the Resurrection committed by Orangutan. Kiri, though, able to find one already off the back of her peeking that angle. Capricious as well, trying to see if she can catch anything, and through that gap in the wall, there's being so much damage done here. It's all down to just Capricious and Sway. Make it just Sway, but she has the flank, she has the position, and she's gonna be able to really make this round work somehow. She does have the showstopper online, and she picks up the operator to boot. So Orangutan, well, they walk away with the round, but they use so much to really get that. They invested the resurrection. It was their full buy as well. So them losing 4 of their players is gonna really damper the economy. And they also, I think, they committed the orbital strike. So that's gonna be a lot of that they don't have to work with in this particular round. Muffin Loop will have her hands on the operator, so that's at least gonna be 1+. They do have 2 more ults still online, so they have both Rolling Thunder as well as a showstopper from Sway. Capricious, though, talking about she's going to be popping the showstopper right on the onset of the round, and she's going to be in the right place at the right time for once, because that operator is not going to be swinging right now. Will be spotting out Sway here, who immediately is going to be falling back. Iluvo, though, she misses the showstopper and is still able to convert that kill. The aggression yet again coming in from these players is so huge right now. Unfortunately, Capricious, this time around, she's not going to be able to connect a shot with Sway, who will be able to find impact. 3 players left for Orangutan. And for all that they fought, for all that they've bled, they still have 0 map control here.
4 versus 3. Spike. It's making its way towards the A side, where there's just a lone Sage. But wait, we know, right? Sage, she's just not an healer for now. Muffin Loop trying to go in. There's one player, and she needs to be careful. Stizen spots Rose. Rose takes down Muffin. That's going to be the player disadvantage for the sides of Team Orangutan. Hyphen location gets compromised. What more will she be able to do right now? There's going to be the investment of Rolling Thunder. Kiwi takes down Casper. Ive takes down Sway. Orangutan, they are falling apart. 5-2. One more round, ladies and gentlemen, rolling in for the sides of Team Mollies. But Orangutan, things are not working in their favor. We have said this a while ago, Zach, that this map is kind of attack favored map, but being on the attack right now, Orangutan 3 rounds deficit is what they have.
You know what else they don't have? They don't have an economy right now. It's only going to be Sway with that Stinger. Everybody else is going to be stuck on pistols during the course of this particular round. And this time around, they are going to change things around and go for an A attack instead. And they're instantly going to be met with, yet again, 2 players. Ilu was shutting them down with the help of some utility coming in from Rose. That's going to be the duelist shutdown. That's going to be no more ability to really make space here with those satchels. And it seems like Orangutan's ability to push has yet again been stalled. So things not looking really good right now for them. They're going to be stuck in spawn, in fact, with all of them just trying to make some kind of headway into this side already, though. It is going to be Iluvu finding consequent kills on the round. 3 on the round already before she finally gets shut down. It's all down to Muffin Loop. 5 HP left on her before she can really make anything work. It's very funny because both the breaches did also manage to get kills with their Aftershock of all things. Either way, though, it's going to be a 1v3. 5 HP left. If Muffin Loop somehow clutches this out, I'm going to go to a GP and donate her $2,000 right after this game because she deserves it if she does do it. But the first obstacle that she's going to have to face down is going to be Capricious, who is just watching the cross ready as ever.
30 seconds
This might be the chance, though, for Muffin to actually make her way into sight because Capricious has fallen back. That's one thing that is going to be in her favor at the very least. Apart from that, not much else. 5 HP left. A wall bang is going to be all it takes to shut her down. And well, Mollies, they get their 6th round on the board, putting up an almost insurmountable defense here.
6-2. 4 rounds buffer is what Team Mollies right now to have with the sides of Orangutan, and is taking them one step closer to the victory. Talking about the buys, Team Orangutan got their hands on full buys and full armors as well, but Talking about Team Mollies, I guess it's gonna be an equalizer situation and they do not have to worry about the creds and the buy. Right now, the push. Chamber going from behind from the arcade area is something they need to be careful about. On the other side, if you talk about the entire 4 players, they are going and making their way towards the A side. So is the case for the Spike. It's making its way towards the A side. Capricious. The angles she is holding is just beautiful. She's not letting anyone enter the site, and there you go. A rotation, I guess, is already being called. The Spike is going down towards the B side. Muffin takes down Elubu. My bad, the Spike is planted towards the A side. Muffin takes down Rose as well. That's 2 players down. Orangutan. This can be their round. It's going to be a 5 versus 3 retake. 3 players for the sides of Mollies is directly a player disadvantage.
Muffin still holding strong, but as I say, it's going to be Kiri who shuts her down. A 3v4 right now. The clock is still ticking, and the players from the side of Mollies, they really have to make their way forward here, but a moment they do, it is going to be Chloe or Ice on Me who immediately shuts them down. A 3k, and she didn't take 1 hit of damage. That finally a round going through for Orangutan, and one that they really needed. It's all off the back of Muffin getting those 2 initial picks and really causing a bit of distraction for the side of Team Mollies here, who let the side go out. So looking at the ultimates available, Elibu has a showstopper online yet again. Hi-Fi has a resurrection as well, so that's going to be a bit of an advantage going into this particular round. Muffin Loop, though, she is going to be playing with the Tour de Force instead, so that's going to be the only operator online for during the course of this round anyway, because Capricious no longer has the economy to really afford one. The push is going to be coming in towards the B side instead. Already you can see the tower area being rigorously watched by Muffin. If anybody tries to take those ropes, they're going to be made to pay for it right there. Seems like, though, Orangutan, they're just going to be happy to wait it out, invest that breach ultimate, and then make their way to side off the back of that. Elubu, though, she makes her way out from the side of the drop and immediately finds value, getting 2 kills somehow, going huge. And she still has possession of the showstopper on top of everything else. So we're looking at a 3v5 retake right now. Ice on Me does have the resurrection, but she's immediately going to be shut down. It's all down to just the Brimstone here, whose position isn't known. Sway does get a post-death kill at the very least, and it seems like Casper, well, she's going to be possibly trying to play for the lineup, but the clock is ticking. The defuse is already half stuck, and it's gonna be yet again the round coming in for Team Mollies. Casper is able to at least get those 2 kills, but that's gonna be all that she really gets before Kiri shuts her down. 7-3, and Mollies, well, they're establishing a very, very pivotal lead right now.
Absolutely, that is going to be the case. 7-3. Talking about Team Mollies, we keep on saying this again and again. A team play is something that is needed the most, and right now every player has stepped up from the sides of Team Molly. 11, 9, 9, 8, 7, the amount of kills respectively for all the players. But when I talk about the sides of Team Orangutan, 2 players, maybe, I'm not exactly heavy lifting is the word I will use right now, but are doing as much as they can. Muffin, again, towards the arcade area, trying to break the wall. But guess where the other players are? They are towards the A side now. That is something that's going to be a kind of distraction for the players. Trying to enter towards the A side, gets the side entry. That's going to be Sway, and her showstopper stopping things. Eluva with the grenade gets Muffin and shuts it down. A 4 versus 4 equalizing situation. Well, yes, resurrection available on both of the sides, so they can make it a 5v5, but I doubt they will be investing on the resurrection right now. It's gonna be Rose trying to go in for some Molly. The spike is planted, and time is all that they need to play on. Capricious, she's holding the door's angle. I doubt there's gonna be players who know Hive. She revives one, takes down one as well. Casper takes down Hive. Alubu, what in the world did you just do?
One of the most beautiful spray transfers. Yeah, I feel you. Like the door, it was like the door opened. She saw them and she immediately hit like 3 shots in a row, barely taking any damage to boot. And that's gonna bring Team Molly's to 8 right now. A dominant performance coming in, and yet again, Eluvu, she only used a showstopper like 2 rounds ago. She already almost has it back, 15-7, putting up an absolutely power-packed performance, for lack of a better word. They still do have that ultimate available as well from Rose, who has that orbital strike ready to go. Orangutan, well, their economy is not exactly in the best place. They're gonna have to compromise a little bit on things like armor, as well as I think there's only gonna be a Spectre available for one of the players. So things looking less than ideal right now. Yet again, high face. She's gonna be putting down her wall towards this arcade area. A lot of pressure being exerted there though, as it immediately gets broken down. So that might trigger a possible rotation coming in. But this time around, it seems like Molly's, they're not going to be taking the bait because the two players on the B side, they're still going to be holding strong. Three players, I'm sorry, they're still going to be holding strong towards this A side instead, because that's going to be where the spike is coming through. Kiri does seem like she's going to be rotating, but nevertheless, towards A main, it's going to be both El Tuvu as well as Rose who are lying in wait, ready to go the moment they are needed. Sway on the look, making her way towards the tower area. But Haife is ready for it, spots her out, and does quite a bit of damage before the push finally comes in towards his A side. Instead, Muffin Loop as well on the look. She might be able to find both these players if she gets the timing right, but it's not gonna be the case here because both of these players have pushed through. Both Eluvu as well as Rose make their way through. Eluvu gets shut on, but Rose is able to trade it out at the very least, so things are back down to a 4v4. Isomi does have a resurrection available though, and it seems like they're gonna be trying to fight Rose here to possibly be able to get her back up. Isomi does manage to convert that pick, and that is going to be huge coming in right now. But Kiri, she's going to be ready for it as she gets so many of these crucial kills back down to a 2v2. Capricious going for the diffuse here, already managing to stick half. She's trying to stick it all. In fact, she might be able to do it completely before she gets taken down, but it's not going to matter because the crossfire, the defense coming in from Kiri, is going to be huge here. And we're looking at a 9-3 half right now for Mollies, who have shown that the defense is impeccable.
A map that is known for its attack. It's just a vice versa version of what we, were talking about a while ago. But 9-3, ladies and gentlemen, do you think that this is gonna change things for the sides of Orangutan? Orangutan on the defensive half, whereas you can see Mollies on the attacking. Now, Team Mollies, they just need one single round to hit the double digits. That's the 10th round, but the deficit between both of these teams, I mean for the sides of Team Orangutan, it's 6 rounds. That is huge itself. Orangutan, they need to step up from the pistol round itself by getting the that's where Orangutan can change things. But what's gonna happen right now? Players, maybe yes, they are going in towards the A side, which is left complete open. Not exactly, but kind of. Yes, it's left completely open. One player maybe holding the tangle, but that's gonna be a side entry that the sides of Team Mollies have already got, and the spike may get initiated very soon. The sides of Team Orangutan giving the site completely free. It's gonna cause a lot.
Ooh, Vicious though. She's gonna be on the luck here, but Muffin with a nice little bait on that Altop is immediately gonna be able to get that first pick right now. Two players from Orangutan on this drop area. So there, it seems like the full-on push is gonna be coming through as well from both these sides. Muffin and Japip's doing so much damage from that drop side. It's all gonna come down to just Rose, who is not gonna be able to connect anything, and Orangutan, they quickly take that pistol, and they show that, on defense we also have a shot off the back of that win. It's gonna be 9-4. Orangutan, well, they are gonna have at least the economy to make this a 9-5, and it seems like this might be a possible comeback story in the making. But for that, they're gonna have to convert this anti-eco first. You do see the investment coming in 3 Spectres right now for these players, and it seems like Sway is gonna be happy to just keep the Sheriff instead. Despite getting the spike plant down, it seems like Team Mollies, they're not going to be really opting to go in for any kind of force spy here. They are happy to just stick in with their pistols, and why not, right? The last time that they did play the anti-eco with just pistols, they managed to convert it on the map of Bime. This time around though, it seems unlikely that Orangutan is going to really let them have the same kind of space, make the same kind of plays. You can see the distraction attempt trying to be made towards this B side here, but the A is going to be where the push is going to be coming. And you do see both Muffin as well as Japeeps on the side. Neither of them really have a Spectre to contend. Oh wait, Japeeps does have a Spectre, never mind. So she's going to be able to pull out that Spectre, but that concussion and pain chills are going to be doing a lot of damage to it. Just 58 HP left on it. Oh my god, Hyphen with a quick flick is able to take her down. The backup is here as well. Ice on me being able to finally get 2 picks, bringing things back down to a 2v3. If they can take out Japeeps, that's going to be 2 Spectres that they have dropped onto the side, and they're going to be able to really pick up on these weapons. It is going to be the 2v2 right now. Sway with the Boombot is trying to clear out space, but not really succeeding. Capricious as well. She's gonna be stuck onto the side, and she has a 1v1, a 1v2 to really close out, but she has the TP as well ready, so she's going to be able to get away with her life. And in the meantime, look at Kiri's position. She's already run all the way over to the B side here. Casper, though, she will finally shut down Capricious. It's all down to just Kiri. In a 1v2, has a Sheriff to her name, will have the Rolling Thunder available. Has a Classic to her name, will have at least the Rolling Thunder available as soon as the plant goes down. But I don't know if she's going to be able to really clutch out this 1v2 because it's going to be her position known right now. Already you can see Sway aggressively pushing in towards her, shutting her down, and that is going to be the round coming in for Orangutan. 9-5. They did lose 3 players though, so that's going to make things a little bit more rough. And heading into this full buy, well, Molly's, they're going to have a very, very pivotal ult online, which is going to be that Rolling Thunder.
There.
9-5.
There.
Just, I mean, the way things were going in the very first half, I actually felt like Team Molly's would end it, but the sides of Team Orangutan right now, they're just not letting things end so early. They don't want to end it so early. Muffin on the operator now. That's a huge investment once again made from the sides of Team Orangutan, but it's gonna be the most important investment as well. Team Molly's, they have their hands on the full buys. Eyes on me. Oh, that was an amazing wall. But nevertheless, the ball goes down. Eyes on me. She knows the exact location of the players. The retake, it's the enforcement. It's not yet called. The players are still waiting. Eyes on me. She's left alone. Oh no, wait. There's one player with her. The players still trying to get the A side control for themselves, but that's going to be the investment of Rolling Thunder. And Elubu takes down Japanese. That's going to be Ice on Me taking down Elubu as well. A fair trade happening from both the sides. A 4 versus 4 Ice on Me. She finds a doppelganger, but nevertheless, Hi-Fi will be better this time, taking one player down. Sage low on HP doesn't matter because she's going to heal herself up and be back here. The spike goes down. A 4 versus 3 retake, Zach.
That is going to be the case. Orangutan, they might not have the advantage when it comes to player number, but they still do have that operator online. And it seems like Molly's are aware of the possibility, which is why they're going to be mostly playing off-site here. Rose already managing to take down Casper is going to be huge on this particular round. It's all down to just nothing new. A 1v4 that she has to close out. Still has that operator to try and work with. They know her position though, so they are going to be playing it a little bit more cautiously. And it seems like the best thing for her with the clock ticking is just to possibly go in for the save on this particular round. She will be able to carry the operator forward into the next round. But the problem is that Orangutan, they don't really have too many of these rounds to lose here. 10-5 right now, and well, Orangutan, they really have to push the pace up. That was their that was their bonus round, I believe. So they are going to be able to afford rifles. At least most of them are going to be able to afford rifles, but things are looking a little bit less than ideal for them. They are 5 rounds behind, and if they lose 3 more, well, it's going to be both match and series point, the victory going over to Molly's, which obviously is a situation that they don't really care for. They are going to be going in for a full buy. I saw me only able to afford a Stinger yet again. Everybody else, though, they're going to have rifles, and they have to really convert this because otherwise, well, things are not looking very good right now. I saw me committing that wall right off the back towards the B main area, but Sway with the paint shells. Okay. What?
I actually wanted to see what exactly happened there and how did Kiri go down with the paint shelf itself, but nevertheless, the operator shots, it gets denied. For now, it's going to be a 4 versus 5 situation that we do have on our screen, ladies and gentlemen. Sage on her wall, but nevertheless, nothing much that is in the hands of the teams right now. Orangutan 5 players strong, but Team Molly's, the spike has been initiated and the spike gets planted as well. It's going to be a 4 versus 4 retake where both of them have lost a same player, so they need to be careful before doing anything. Muffin trying to take at least one player off guard. Rose holding an angle. Operator is something that might get difficult for them right now. Hi-Fi spots one, but it's gonna be JP's taking her down. Ice on Me still holding an angle, finds one, takes down Rose. Ice on Me. Oh, Faye once again with a grenade. Take down Capricious. 3K on her name. OG, 6th round rolling in for them, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, Oof, a beautiful defense coming in from them. And of course, Sway somehow getting two with the paint shells was just
Yeah.
unbelievable to me. Uh, the economy not really looking ideal right now for the side of Team Mollies, who might be forced to go in for either a force or an eco right now. They do have two players going in for Vandals, but everybody else is just opting to go in for a half buy of some kind instead. They're still deciding what exactly to do. They don't really have any ultimates to work with either. The Rose is only one away from that orbital strike. Yep, it is gonna be a bone. It is gonna be a bit of a half buy coming in right now for the side of these players from Team Mollies. And yet again, the aggression, it's gonna be pivoted towards this A side instead. You can already see the double hole coming in. Super useful here because Elivu might have found the kill onto Sway otherwise. In the meantime, though, Capricious on the lurk. She's gonna be able to try and create a distraction and possibly prevent Isomni from rotating over towards that B side instead. After that first interaction, though, it seems like the rotation is going to be coming through towards the B side. Muffin Loop finding value with that operator yet again as she manages to find the pick onto Kiri. Three players left for the side of Team Mollies as they try to make their way onto this area. Muffin with the second pick as well with the operator. Capricious getting out the trade, being able to possibly pick up that rifle, but things still looking quite rough right now for these players from the side of Molly's. If, however, Capricious can somehow find the timing, she's going to be able to pick up that operator as well as get the rifle for her teammate. And the worst part is, if Hi-Fi gets the plant, she's going to be having that resurrection online as well. So things are going to be coming back down to down to a 3v3 in Capricious. Well, she still has that operator, so that's going to be extremely important this particular round. Dodges the flash, but look at how Hi-Fi is playing this. She's trying to isolate these 1v1s as much as possible, but she just doesn't have the weapon for the job. And Orangutan, they hold on. They do convert this round as well, and it's going to be 10-7.
10-7. Orangutan. We started this with a 9-3, and here we are with a 10-7. Orangutan. 4 rounds they got for themselves. 1 round, yes, Team Molly's registered for themselves as well, but Team Orangutan looking good right now with all the 4, I mean not all, but the 4 ultimates that are, ready. Only one left. She'll get it very soon with 2 kills that Sway needs. But talking about the sides of Team Molly's right
Safety's
now,
off.
Capricious is something that I have my, eyes on because the Tour de Force will be online. And there you go, the Tour de Force is online. Now, what will this investment result into? Capricious trying to peak players. Muffin Look with the Tour de Force. Capricious is better this time, takes down the doppelganger. Muffin Loop goes down. Orangutan on a player deficit.
4v5 right now. I think that the resurrection is available if they choose to use it, but Isomni, she doesn't really have the area to do so. However, the other resurrection is going to instead come through as both Hi-Fi gets up Eluvu, and everybody manages to stay alive despite Casper committing that orbital strike. It's going to be Eluvu who shuts her down. It's yet again Sway left alone in a 1v5. Yet again with just an operator to work with. The last time around Muffin Loop, she ended up going for the save. It seems like Sway might be interested in possibly trying things out or at least getting these exit frags. Or so I thought, because never mind, she's just going to choose to back off. It looks like we're going to be seeing 11-7 right now as Mollies, they get closer and closer to match point as well as winning this map. Sway taking quite a bit of damage, being forced off that particular angle. Kitty seems inclined to go on the hunt for her this time around as Sway desperately tries to stay alive. Look at that, all 5 players heading in from the spawn, chasing Sway down. She gets 1, but she still has to deal with 4 more as they try to surround her and get those picks. She's gonna miss that shot and she's gonna be pushing forward, trying to desperately stay alive, but it's not gonna be happening. As Rose, she's gonna hunt her down, put her down, and that's gonna be 11-7.
Unfortunate for Sway. She tried all she could to save the operator and stay alive, but things didn't actually work in her favor. Molly's versus Team Orangutan right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's 11-7 the scoreline that we do have right now. The previous round, there was a lot of investment of utilities and abilities, I would say, that was made. The investment of Tour de Force was something from both of the sides. It was huge, but right now 11 rounds already for the sides of Team Mollies, and they just need 1 more round. Not for the match point, but for the series point, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be the most important round. Muffin Loop with the stinger. But where is the spike going? Well, it's making its way towards the B side where you can see Sage and Chamber. Now, the wall is something that is a huge, The wall is something that is not letting the players enter, but for now the players are just waiting. Look at the sides of Team Mollies. They don't want to risk it. They are just at a peace, but what they need to be careful about is the last 60 seconds that they do have to take the side control and plant the spike. The investment of Showstopper is something that I want to see what it gets, but well, nothing because Elubu goes down. Oh, Elubu takes down Sway, Kiri takes down Ice and Me. 5 versus 2, Zach.
Just 2 players left, like you mentioned. And while Japeeps does have the Rolling Thunder as well as a full utility kit, I doubt she's going to be really using any of it. She does manage to at least retrieve a weapon of sorts, so that might be something that she can at least get some frags off of or try to do some damage off of. Does find Kiri with the help of that rifle. 2v3 right now. Orangutan, they can actually make this work, but they're running out of time, and that's their biggest problem right now. Already Capricious, she's going to spot out the player where Rose is there for the trade. It's all down to just Japeeps in this one left on the clock. It's going to be Rose who does manage to get that kill, and with that, it's going to be match point and series point for Team Mollies, who are just 1 round away from clutching in that first place. Orangutan, well, last round it was a half five for them. They will be able to head in for a full buy this time and even afford an operator for Muffin Loop here. They also do have 3 ultimates available. That Showstopper from Sway, the Resurrection from Ice on Me, and of course the Rolling Thunder from Japeeps, which she managed to hold on to the last round. So Orangutan, well, it's not entirely over for them yet. They only need 5 rounds to take this to overtime, and they're definitely capable of it. But the question is not can they do it. The question is will they do it as we head into this penultimate round right now for the side of Team Mollies. You can already see Capricious not being afraid to get a little bit aggressive, trying to find out where exactly that operator is going to be posted, and well, it's going to be posted towards the A side instead, which is where these players from Team Molly seem likely to go, looking at where the spike is being positioned right now. It's going to be Sway on this A side, though, who's holding this angle. Orangutan are playing this really, really cautiously. They know that even if they let one player go down, it is going to be impossible for them to go forward. Already, though, they're going to see Muffin Loop with the operator force her to TP back and do a lot of damage in the process. The paint shells being invested as well, trying to find some value, but that Rolling Thunder being committed is going to buy some more space for Muffin Loop to stay alive and help the rest of the team possibly come in for the backup here. Looking at the position, though, from the players from Team Orangutan, they're going to be switching over all towards the A side, which might not be the right call because with where it seems like the players from Mollies are going, they're going to be heading in towards the B area instead. Sway does have that Showstopper. She is going to be investing it right now. The question is, what exactly is she going to find? And the answer to that is absolutely nothing, because there's going to be a wall right in her face, stopping her from really putting it down here. We're looking at a full 5-on-5 retake right now as Orangutan fight to stay alive in this map here, as they fight to stay alive to try and take that first place going forward. You can already see Rose playing in this dangerous corner here. All they have to do, all Mollies has to do, is buy enough time to really make this round work. Ice on Me, taking out Kiri already, finding the first frag. That's going to be so important right now. Muffin as well. Just 2 players left, make it 1. It's all down to just Elubu, who is going to go down, and Orangutan, they get the round, 12-8.
12-8. For the sides of Team Mollies, it's just 1 step away. Wait, let me clear. Not the match, not the map, but the entire series. Ladies and gentlemen, the scoreline that we do have right now is 1-1 for both the teams. So this map is the decider. 12 rounds already on the sides of Team Mollies, whereas Orangutan with 8. Orangutan, they are trying to get, step up right now. But the only question that I have in my mind is it too late? Because it's the series point already. 1 second, and that's going to be the start of next round. The push going in towards the A side, and I feel like it's going to be a hard push this time because Elubu, she is already at the urge of entering the site. Well, there you go. The information that the sides of Team Orangutan needed, they get it. Muffin Loop holding an angle. There's going to be the investment of Rolling Thunder as well. Now, all they have to do is just wait and decide what can be done. The spike, it's not planted yet. Will the spike go down? Well, yes, the spike goes down, and Lubu takes down Muffin. Ivy planting. Well, the spike gets planted as well. Orangutan, they are on the backstab already. Izumi takes down one. Casper takes down Kiri. There's gonna be the investment of Hellfire. 3 versus 3, ladies and gentlemen. A 2 versus 3. Mollies, will they be able to do that? Will they be able to buy time as much as they want? The answer is no. Elubu took down three. She did all that she could but got denied. Orangutan getting the ninth round. Zach, I feel like we are gonna go overtime. What do you think?
I mean, if Orangutan keep this up, that's definitely going to be the case. Looking at how they've switched up their playstyle, it's really interesting because so far, before these last few rounds, they haven't been afraid to go aggressive, but they've been punished so much for it by the side of Molly's that they are happy to just go in for these full-on 5v5 retakes. And it's working out like a charm for them so far. They're able to really exert pressure from all sides of the site, whether, for example, on this A side, whether it's towards drop, whether it's towards main, even the players from the CT side, they are able to just make this retake work phenomenally. And off the back of those two wins, it's gonna be a half by coming in right now for the side of Team Molly's. They do have two rifles on both Iluvu and Capricious, and they also have that showstopper if they choose to invest it. But that's gonna be all that's there. Already you can see Sway being forced off of this drop area into the site instead as they spot her out, and they do quite a bit of damage to her in the process as well. So that's gonna be no more armor available for Sway. They are gonna be trying to farm up these ult tops and get them online. Already Casper on the lurk here is gonna be caught off guard. A beautiful sheriff shot from high face immediately gonna shut that down. And this is what I was talking about. Orangutan, these last few rounds, they've been playing so cautiously, but the first mistake they make, and immediately it is going to be Molly's to capitalize on it huge. Japeems, though, she's going to be missing the spray, unfortunately, and she's looking like she's going to be wall banked right now. A 3v5 right now for the players from Orangutan, who are in a very, very rough spot. You can already see the showstopper being invested by Eluvu, not really finding any value here, but the site is still going to remain open for the taking for these players right now. Sway finding one with the paint shells, but that's going to be all she finds because Capricious shuts her down. Just two players left right now for Orangutan. They don't really have the ult either to work with no resurrection available. And that's going to be Ice on Me getting one somehow. 2v3 right now. It's not impossible for them. They know the position of where Rose is playing. She's going to have to put down the smoke and move out before they can really take her down. Ice on Me popping that heal. Crossfire being held is deadly right now. It's all down to Ice on Me. She has to close this out with an ace in style. She knows the position of one player, but Eluvu waiting all the way in the defender spawn is going to be the one to close things out. And it is going to be Team Molly's who take Fracture into their pocket, who win this tournament and beat Orangutan 2-1 to close it out. What a performance coming in from them.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have it for the sides of Team Molly's? A phenomenal performance, and they are the champions for this Acer Predator League 2022. What a phenomenal performance, man. I mean, the way this map started with the very first map where we saw Team Molly's into a lot of problems, I really felt like Team Molly's, there's just a need of, synergy. And they just showed us what a beautiful performance. Two maps, 2-1. But again, Team Orangutan, unfortunate for them, but they did an amazing job.
Yeah, it was a great job coming in for the side of Orangutan. They did their best, and it looked like they were likely to make the comeback. But that last round, they got a little bit too overeager, and they ended up losing to a half by of all things. I genuinely thought that round was going to be in their pocket, but both Casper as well as I believe it was Japeems get a little bit too overeager. There was nobody to trade them out, and off the back of that, well, it is going to be Team Molly's who managed to capitalize and convert it. And personally, I am really happy for them because this is a roster which has been playing together for just the course of this tournament. They're all experienced players. They're all really good, and it's nice to see that Kiri in particular finally managed to get a win because this is a player who has been in the scene for a very long time. A great job coming in from the side of Team Molly's and Orangutan. Well, it's a nice try coming in from them, but unfortunately for them, well, they are gonna be forced to take second, which is not bad. They still do get 50k in the bank, but let's have it. Let's give a big round of applause for Team Molly's because they totally deserve it today.
Well, definitely. They do deserve it. I mean, I do feel sad for the sides of Team Orangutan right now because the way Team Orangutan has performed, it was phenomenal. But coming back to Team Molly's, as you said, it's a new roster. And even after that, this level of synergy is something that was just impossible to, witness. But it's always said, right? Impossible itself says, I am possible. And that is something that Team Molly's just witnessed us with a beautiful performance. Well, to give a brief about what the prize pool is, what is at stake right now. The prize pool that we had for this entire tournament, ladies and gentlemen, was 1 lakh 50,000, a huge prize pool at stake. And with that, it was the glory and the victory itself, where Team Mollies managed to get 1 lakh for themselves. That's the very first place that they have been placed on. And the second place, that's going to be Team Orangutan with 50,000 in their bags.
It is going to be the case indeed, and I think they're going to be feeling very happy with themselves. And doing looking at how they ended up playing those maps, this was a, I believe, though I forgot the phrase for it, but this was a reverse sweep. Yes, that's what they call it. So this was a beautiful reverse sweep coming in from them. Despite them losing Icebox, they put up such a dominant show on Bind, and I think Bind is a map where they really tend to shine. They did the research because they know that Orangutan, they usually tend to not play Bind. In fact, I don't think they've ever really played Bind in a professional setting. So they did the research, they chose Bind, they prepped for it really well, and they did a phenomenal job on the defense. They put up such a strong defense. A lot, you can see the work that they've put into their like the way they play the map, the agent positions and stuff. For example, the crossfires that are constantly being held either towards B long on Bind or towards the showers area. And of course, Fracture, well, their first half was just so impressive. It's incredibly difficult to put up a strong defense on Fracture, but yet again, they know how these players from Orangutan like to play. And I feel like the main difficulty which Orangutan they really had on the attack was they just were not able to create enough space. Like Sway was their solo duelist, and she just had so much trouble really being able to find areas where the defense was weak and trying to get in. A lot of the rounds you saw, she went down right off the bat, and once Capricious got the operator into play, it was just impossible for Orangutan to really find more value. So I feel bad for them, but more than Orangutan playing badly, I think this just comes down to Molly's playing incredibly well. They did their prep, they did their research, they knew exactly what they wanted to do heading into this particular series, and well, they pulled off exactly that. So kudos to them.
Well, definitely that is going to be the case. But right now, the post match analysis is something that we do have on our screens, ladies and gentlemen. The map Fracture 13 to 9. Team Molly's got it for themselves. The MVP, it's gonna be Haife. Now that's quite interesting. 24, 24, 17, 16, 15, 14. Now this shows that the entire team has just done a beautiful job. It's not just about one player or two players carrying or doing all the hard lifting for the entire team, but it's about the entire team stepping up and doing all that they can. And that is clearly showcased from the sides of Team Molly's. Talking about Team Orangutan, I really feel not exactly sad is the word I would use right now, but seeing Casper with 8 kills is something that is, heartbreaking for me.
Yeah, it's especially true considering how well she played on
Yep.
Icebox. And she was the MVP during that particular match, but she just had so much trouble finding any kind of momentum on both of the following maps, both Bind as well as Fracture. She just could not seem to pull together the same kind of performance that she usually has. And again, it might be attributed to the agent switch coming in, usually at least on the map of Bind. But on Fracture, she looked pretty uncomfortable today, which is unfortunate. But I think more than you can't just say it was on Casper, right? I think
Yep.
the entire map of Orangutan, Ice on Me was the most consistent player throughout the series. In fact, for Orangutan, the rest of them they just weren't able to really put up those numbers. Muffin, of course, on the chamber, she did a very good job on the first two maps. She did her best on this particular one, but I think Swain, when it comes to the duelists in particular, Elubu was just so far ahead of literally anybody else on the server. Like, look at this overall scorecard between both the teams. Elivu dropped 67 kills over 3 maps. In fact, I think she's the only player with a positive KDA during the entire course of this series so far, looking at the stats here. So, on the other side, though, looking at how Orangutan performed, well, Muffin Loop and Ice on Me both stepped up huge. But, in particular, when your duelist goes 34 or 44, it's not a good look for your team. And I think that's why they had so much trouble, especially during those attacking halves coming in.
Absolutely. I wouldn't disagree to any of the things. 67 total kills on Eluvu now. That is just huge. I mean, that's almost the double of what Haife has. Just look at the difference. I'm not comparing, honestly. I'm not comparing on what performance both of these players have showcased, but it's an amazing job. Every time Eluvu came up, she performed and she did a beautiful job. I still remember the 4K, if you remember the map, the 4K on the doors. She just went ham on her enemies. It felt like she was completely hungry. The lion on a hunt, when the lion on hunt is really hungry, that was the entire scenario I had in my mind when Elubu stepped up with that 4K.
Yeah, Luvu, when you talk about a performance during the course of all three maps, she when you're playing those high impact agents like Raze and Chamber, you really do want to have the impact that your team requires, whether it's creating space with those satchels and making your way onto site, or if you're going to be playing that operator instead. Um, I think that the fact that she was able to pick up both the Raze and the Jet and play them with such beautiful uh she managed to create so much space just by herself, whether it was her dashing in or her getting those first picks. I think that if we had a first blood sheet on that scorecard, she would
Yep,
have more than any of the other players combined. I'd be very happy to
absolutely.
make that bet with you. So well, it just goes to show what exactly having a good duelist can do for you. But I think that's gonna be it for the day from us, right, Tash?
Well, absolutely, that is going to be it for us for today. But I have to give it to the teams, to both of the teams. I mean, going through all the qualifiers and then being here at the grand finals itself, it's a huge thing. So kudos to both of the teams and to the winning teams as well. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, for the Aces Predator Leagues 2022. It's going to be me, Darshita, signing off from Des today with Zach. You guys may have a good night and have an amazing day tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care. Stay home. Stay safe.
Bye bye.
Enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Spike planted. Last player standing. One enemy
I
remaining.
don't wanna fall in love. I just wanna have some fun, yeah. I don't wanna fall in love. I just wanna have some fun. I don't wanna fall in love, 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 fall in love. I don't wanna fall in love, I don't wanna fall in love. I don't wanna fall in love. I don't wanna fall in love. I just wanna have some fun. Yeah. I don't wanna fall in love. I just wanna have some fun, yeah. I don't wanna fall in love. I just wanna have some fun. I don't wanna fall in love.